still, the thoughts of you are sinking. Point stands, but I'm still overthinking. You know you don't really call me like you used to, but I know you try. But I've heard you've been here before. But I won't stay the same. It's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change. I know it's me and you, but I don't stay the same. I'm just adjusting to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to. Babe, I wanna know, is it heartfelt to maybe just a little? Cause you don't really see me like you used to, but you hold on to me cause all you do is settle. I've heard you've been here before. Stay the same, it's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change. I know it's me and you, but I don't stay the same. I'm just adjusted to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to. But I don't stay the same, it's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change. I know it's me and you, but I don't stay the same. I'm just adjusting to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to. If I stay still, the thoughts of you are sinking. Point stands, but I'm still overthinking. You know you don't really call me like you used to, but I know you try. But I've heard you've been here before. But I won't stay the same. It's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change. I know it's me and you, but I don't stay the same. I'm just adjusting to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to.
Boom, boom. So you're gonna adjust it again
It was too
after
low.
you lowered it?
Yeah, I fixed it.
Did you?
No.
No, just fix it. If it's too low, didn't move.
It didn't move.
No, you got to go up. Do you need assistance?
No, it's fine.
Moving the mic.
It's fine.
Dang, I don't. Wait, I haven't even started. She hasn't said one word, and
I did. It's fine.
she was like, "This is too high." But she shoved it down.
I did.
And then as soon as we start,
Aggressively, it was too low.
yeah, you just bend it up a little bit, and it's fine.
I feel like you need hook strength.
There you go.
It doesn't stay.
Go past.
It's fine. This is good.
Okay.
It went
Woo.
up. I feel it.
I see it. It did not. It's fine. We're here.
Happy Friday.
We've been gone for a minute.
We have.
We've been gone for a minute for a reason, and we're gonna get into those things. But happy Fry to the day, to the yay day.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
I totally forgot Valerie and John are at a thing, and I just asked them for help on something, and I was like, duh, you just told me you were going to be at a thing this weekend.
Yeah, but what do you mean? You could still text them.
Well, they're at a band thing, so it's like,
What do you mean?
they can't like listen.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's
Okay.
fine.
It is fine.
Hey, everybody.
Hello. Was very, very distracted tonight.
I am,
Yeah.
but here we are.
So I'm trying to stay focused, trying to keep her focused. It's not working.
No.
Okay.
Wait, can I go through the chat already? So it say hi to Ryan. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Urel. Hi, Urel. And Ryan said it's shot o'clock.
It is.
I have one.
We haven't done a shot since Aftershock, I think.
No, we haven't. It has been a minute.
So we have a lot of stuff. Hello. Rebecca's in town.
That's a story. Let me add that to my
that's
list.
That's what they call it. Not a kerfuffle.
Life.
No, what's it called?
That was a snafu.
Snafu. Nah,
Yeah.
it's just life. It's just life. Life
All right.
with littles.
We're shot this.
Shot o'clock.
Salud.
Slantiva.
Reach.
Click clack. Take it way back.
Happy Friday.
Mm-hmm. It's just a little bit of proper
This is why
12.
I can't have spirits in the house.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Okay.
Oh, we made different faces.
Mine is like, where's my beer? No, I'm finding out that I'm not a hard alcohol person as much as I used to be.
I'm finding out that I am.
Yeah.
No beer.
I'm
Give me
finding out
whiskey and
beer
tequila.
is my friend.
I'm like a country song at this point.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that called Tequila Makes Her Clothes Fall Off?
I don't know.
That's a song, isn't it?
Who? Tequila makes whose clothes fall off? Everyone I know who drinks tequila gets feisty.
Feisty and throws
Not
up.
that way. Like, I want to fight you, feisty.
No, feisty and throws up.
What?
Yeah,
Mm.
that's true.
All right.
Okay,
we got?
but we'll get into some of the ins and outs of what's going on. But first, let's talk about sponsors.
Yes.
I put it in the wrong order, but that's okay. We'll do what's up here in a second, but not the what's up in here, but what's up with us.
Okay.
Sponsor.
So,
Do you
hold
want
on.
to go first?
Sorry, there was
What?
something funny in the chat.
Oh no!
They said Emery is singing shots to us.
Everybody.
Shot. That was me at Aftershock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, it depends on who is playing. We're gonna get to these things.
Every corner.
Oh my gosh, it was a lot. It was very fun.
Sorry, continue.
So, sponsors, Lever Consulting. Go to leverconsulting.com for an introductory consultation. Compliments of Sarah and Scooter, because we paid them nothing.
Yeah.
But they love
like
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love them too. So
Yes.
make sure to go there, leverconsulting.com.
.com.
Free consultation.
And then also we have Yaya's Embroidery on the gram. And she's wonderful. And she does all the things. The embroideries and the screen printing and the hats and the beanies.
And I'm going to
Lots of
mention
things.
some of her
And the shirts.
social media.
Oh,
here
I was
in a
going to
little
too. I
bit.
made a note.
We're going to get there.
And she's just amazing. And she's so quick to respond and to send your things out. And she's just great. Great customer service.
Things and stuff and everything below and above that.
And if you
Thank you very
mention
much.
Sarah and Scooter, you get 10% off your order.
Mm.
Because she's a G like that.
Was that a hair flip?
It was.
Wow.
Oh, I'm so glad. Next week I'm not going to have any braids in. I'm very
Are you
excited
pulling them
about it.
out?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I mean,
It's time. It's time.
it is time.
It is time. It's winter hair time.
Winter hair. Yeah, I just got my hair cut off
Yeah.
for winter. Weird. Okay.
Well.
It's different.
All right.
All right.
Do you want to just do a catch up or you want to do?
we're gonna do some stuff here, but I also do want to do. I do want to mention a little bit of house cleaning in a sense.
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping. Is it housekeeping or
Yeah.
house cleaning?
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I've never done
House
this.
cleaning's funny.
Sounds great.
I know.
We're
Who
gonna
wants to come clean our
spruce
house?
it up around here.
Not me.
We did start a Patreon. Reason being is I'm trying to figure it out. I've been working on it on the back end, trying to figure out how to live stream through YouTube with the Patreon, those kind of things, so we can do a little bit more adult verbiage. but not just adult verbiage, but we could actually play like music games and those kind of things. So it doesn't just take it down off of YouTube and doesn't blank out stuff.
Yeah.
So we could actually play music that we don't necessarily have permission to play because we're not looking to get monetized anyways. But they will take your video down, or they'll actually mute it during those sections. That's happened to me before on other platforms, on other streaming channels that I've done. So, and I don't like that. Kind of bums me out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if we're playing a music game, then it's going to be really
Right.
boring to listen
It
to
really is.
and interact with when you can't hear it.
Yeah.
So we're looking at, we did $2 a month because that's probably the lowest to where we can break even on Patreon. So if you want to check it out, that's up to you, because we want to do a little bit more in-depth combos, games,
that too.
and a little bit more like not controversial, but it's kind of those kind of things that less family friendly. Let's look at it that way.
Scooter wants to say all the words.
Well, not just the words, but the topics themselves too. It's like, if you know me personally, if you don't know me personally, pay the $2 a month. You'll get to know, wow, I really don't like that guy. Before he was on the fence, but dang, I really don't like him.
Yeah.
But it's at patreon.com/Sarah and Scooter. And that's Sarah with an H.
With an H.
Yes. And spell it all out. And there's no ampersand in there. Sarah and Scooter.
Yeah.
So check it out. We haven't put any content up there as of yet, but we're working on it.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to do some live stream stuff
Yeah.
on there. It'll be a similar format, but more game oriented,
giggles.
more silly oriented, and more serious. A little bit more go towards the serious and silly spectrum on the outside instead of trying to stay in the middle.
So a funny thing, before this all started, we got an audio clip to try to help
This is driving us crazy.
Errol and Tony figure out a song. And so I've enlisted John and Valerie. John just called me and he sent me an audio clip. And I was like, I think he's figured it out, but I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah, so we're going to, and that's the thing, is like we can't,
Right.
the thing is we can't play it here, we can't do it here, but we could be doing this on
Patreon.
our Patreon link. It's basically if you unlist, it's basically if you, how do I say it? On YouTube, you can unlist your video and then you can watch it if you're a patron.
Yeah.
And then after that, I would take kind of the video and make it private. And then the private would be anybody that signs up. I would add them to the list and then they can watch it at any time that they want. So you can watch it afterwards and during.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. It's not as streamlined as
That
you would
sounds.
hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't want to be shut down before we do anything.
Right.
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, because this honestly happened because I talked about it last time. I was like, I clipped something from a very popular podcast. I clipped it and they turned off my whole channel.
Yep.
They just turned it off. And I'm like, I didn't say it. I clipped it. I just took a little segment because I wanted to send it to some people. Man, they shut it down for like 3 or 4 hours. My YouTube, my own personal one, since the dawn of YouTube, got shut down. Yeah. And I was like, okay, so I need to be very careful about this.
Yeah. Do you have any more house cleaning items?
No, that was really it. Check out patreon.com/Sarah and Scooter if you want to do it. It's $2 a month. So
you might play the suspect game.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Oh, yeah. There might be a sus game. There might be some music games, but there's also probably going to be games and topics.
Yeah.
We're not going to do this. It's going to be a little bit more right to the games, right to the topics, that kind of thing.
Yes.
That's me.
All right.
Woo!
Good thing.
Love that clip.
I have 3 things, but I have a feeling you have 2 of the 3.
Oh, probably, but that's fine.
Okay.
I'll bounce
Aftershock, obviously.
Oh, Aftershock.
Yeah.
Aftershock.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, it's like, and I'll tell you right now because we're on a podcast. I won't tell you later unless you want to call me.
You might.
Right now, here's what I'm finding it more difficult is during these sessions, during our podcast. It's hard for me to remember. Here, I'll just put the camera on me while you're texting.
Thanks.
it's hard for me to remember what we talked to our therapist about and what we put on our podcast.
Oh, that's fair.
Because it's very, very similar.
Yeah.
It seems very similar.
Yeah.
So we do this. Most of the stuff that we say to our therapist, we say here or vice versa. So really, our therapist could really, save some time and energy and just watch the podcast and still charge us. No, we're not in a slump. Sarah and I were in a slump, but I've been having my episodes and we've talked about, Sarah gets a little reclusive.
Yeah.
And those types of things, and we talk through those things. But I do know that there's a certain rejuvenation this time of year, and it's not the holidays, guys. It's what this time of year brings to us, because what it brings to us is we go to a 4-day festival concert of some bands we know, some bands we don't know, and we just really enjoy it. So check out our Instagram and our Facebook if you want, our personal Facebook, because we don't do one for our podcast, but our Sarah and Scooter Instagram for that, to see some of the videos, some of the fun that we had, some of the things we saw, some of the cool things. But that kind of gives us a rejuvenation of her and I just hanging out. We don't have, even if we have an obligation, sorry, we can't leave.
Yeah, couldn't have this fun if I wanted to.
Well, even if you did, you can't leave.
No.
It's like, if you leave, you can't come back.
That's
so we're
true.
like, no, we spent money on this.
Yes.
And that's how Sarah
That is my brain.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about Aftershock. Let's talk about your favorite and your let's go least favorite first. Least favorite part of the 4 days.
The cost of that delicious pizza is my least favorite part.
But you had it every day.
Of course, it was delicious. I just said that. It's freaking $40 a pizza.
Yeah, you had it
The
every day.
cost was psychotic. The pizza was delicious. Obviously, I had it every single day.
She
It's
really
the only
did.
time I get it. It's once a year I get this pizza for
Wait,
4
we
days.
can find that truck.
You can't. I've looked.
Okay.
They
It
don't
exists.
exist.
They do exist.
Only exists at festivals. I'm putting it out there right now.
Maybe they do.
It's delicious. That is the worst part about the festival is the cost of the food.
That's the worst part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for those dumplings. It's a good deal.
Dumplings were great. There was 10 of them.
I know, for like $15 or something.
Yeah, and
which
then
sounds
$40
crazy,
bucks
but-
for a pizza.
Yeah, which was bomb. You guys would also spend $4 on this pizza, by the way.
It would.
I promise
I mean,
you.
if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna splurge on anything, it's the pizza at Aftershock.
The end
Well,
of the night pizza.
That pizza place.
I'm telling you right now,
'Cause
it's
there's
that
other-
one.
Yeah, there's other pizza places there.
Not the
They're
same.
just not the same.
It's like theirs are like greasy and not good. This wood fired pizza, I'll tell you right now, I will eat it and burn my whole mouth and do it again the next day.
Yeah, it hurt.
Oh, so good.
But it hurt my intestines. Like there was one
Yeah.
night I was like, I don't think I drank enough water that day,
You didn't.
and
You still had your original bottle when we started the
yeah,
day.
and the pizza was like, I'm still here. I want to say MF. I'm still here. And that pizza was there until noon the next day, right here.
I don't think that was. I mean, realistically, I didn't have any bad moments from Aftershock this year.
We did. I mean, we saw a fight, but that's normal.
Yeah.
I'd say my least favorite part, and this is more stuff that we could get in depth with. There was a band that while we were about to see,
I was gonna say this.
we were about to see Ice-T's band Body Count,
Yeah.
which has been around since the 80s. And there's another band that I'm not going to mention their name.
I almost wanted to see them. I did want to see them.
I did until that.
Yeah.
And but that brought, they're not, how do I put it? I could understand a band like Body Count bringing up politics.
Yeah.
Totally understand it because they've been they're one of their hit songs in the 80s was Cop Killer.
Yeah. Which
know,
they did play.
And it's Ice-T.
Yeah.
And they say F the police, they get shot. I was like, they're there.
Right.
Cypress Hill.
Right.
Totally understand, that's who they are. But there's another band that decided that the end of their set that they need to thank their deity for certain people. And it's people in political office. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't care where you sway on that kind of thing. I was like, God is not that. Just your God might be, but that's not mine.
Yeah. It was F
Um,
one side, God bless the other. And I
yeah,
was like,
and it was
gross.
just it was
That's yucky.
it was icky. And it created some dissension with people.
Yeah.
And this was our safe 4 days of just music.
Yeah.
And this person's been known to say these things before. And hence there are 2000s kind of heavy. They kind of got, but their music's not even political. That's kind of
Right.
That's where I was kind of like going,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
What's the point of this?
Now, if it was Rage, got it.
Right.
If it was Body Count, got it.
Yeah.
If it was
Limp Bizkit.
Ice Cube, NWA, it's just like there's certain bands just like that's your thing.
Yeah.
Like if it was System of a Down, that's your thing.
Yeah.
But to pull
Yeah, I
that
didn't
out
enjoy
there,
it.
so that just bummed me out because everybody started looking at each other.
I know, to see
And
what.
it made it very awkward.
Yes.
Like the people that were going, yeah, and the other people going, why are we here?
Right. Why are we doing
Now
this?
I feel unsafe.
Right. Yeah.
The safety,
Yeah.
the feeling of safety just went down.
As the minority in the group, I can agree with that statement.
Yeah. and you can see it. And we're about to see Ice-T
Yeah.
say cop killer.
Yeah.
So
It also makes me laugh when we go see Ice-T and that song comes on, how many people turn around and leave. And I'm like, did you not know?
did you not know who Ice-T
The
was?
song's been around for 100 years.
Like I think it came out in 1988.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
Like 1988.
Song also makes me feel uncomfortable, but here I am. I'm always like, I mean, I don't want people to die.
Yeah. But that was my least favorite.
Yeah, I agree.
But then we got to go to what's your most favorite? What was your favorite?
Easily, there's two. I'll go Tech 9 and Cypress Hill because I didn't know any words to the songs, but I understood the dancing. I don't understand moshing. I don't understand having to jump up and down all the time. To me, I'm like, this isn't really dancing.
You don't understand the wall of death?
That's stupid.
It was cool though.
was-
When you watch it, it set it off.
No, it's not cool. You're running into each other.
was
I
awesome.
don't understand metal dancing. I'm sorry, I don't. There's not even, there's rhythm because you're jumping to a beat, but we're not doing anything but jumping and hurting my back. So Tech 9 and Cypress Hill at least had it was grooves and it was fun and I enjoyed it.
Cypress Hill was one of my faves. I love seeing Body Count. I've seen them a few times now.
Yeah.
Love seeing them. First time I've ever seen Cypress Hill. They've been around since about the same time.
They were good.
The Tech 9 was phenomenal because it's the first time I've ever seen Tech 9. Probably the most, my favorite, oh gosh, there's probably one or two. Funeral Portrait was just a sleeper for me.
Yeah.
It was in the middle of the day. It was the first one we hit. I was like, we got to hit Funeral Portrait. They're an unsigned band. They're small.
They were good.
But, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Just they were playing live.
Yeah.
And theatrical. They didn't have a bunch of stuff going on, all those kind of things. They were just playing their music and playing it so well.
Yeah.
It just sounded so good. Set It Off was good.
Off.
That's the second time we've seen them.
I miss POD.
Yeah, we did miss POD.
Okay. It's okay. Last year, kid in school to ruin things for us. Just kidding.
So yeah, there's other priorities, but my real favorite was true. I have to say at the top of the list, I've never gotten to see Static X live.
Oh, it's true.
And there was a time where I was like, I need to see Static X live, and then Wayne Static died of an overdose. This is in, God, I don't remember, 2014. No, it was before that, I think.
Don't know.
But there's certain times in my life it was like I was not in a good place. And Static X was my driving force to just keep going.
Yeah.
Like all the albums, I'd listen to them like front to back, go through it. And then he passed away, and I was like, well, that sucks. I'm never going to see Static X again. So the cool thing was the way that the replacement lead singer is dressed up almost like he's undead
Oh,
or
that's
a
true.
robot of some sort.
Yeah.
Like a robot form of Wayne Static, which I thought that was pretty cool. He's the only one in the band that wears a mask.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only one that wears like he doesn't look real and sings the song very well. And they even had like one song where you saw Wayne Static video in the back and showed him his years of being alive and stuff like that.
I didn't even notice that.
Oh, well, these are things I noticed.
You didn't even say anything.
I did too. I actually did. I said, "Babe, do you see the video in the back of your?" Go, "Oh yeah."
He didn't say who it was. It's just a video playing.
But I don't have time to like scooter explain something in the middle of a song.
All you have to say, since when? I'm sorry. Stop my whole train of thought right there. Since when?
Woo! That's so true. Because I did that at Anthrax quite a
Right.
bit. Anthrax was great to see too. I haven't seen them. I've never seen them live, and they were one of my bands that I loved in the late '80s, early '90s. Absolutely loved them. But no, Static X was probably my just because I knew all the songs.
Right.
You know, when you know all the songs, you know, like almost every word, and yeah.
I've only had one concert like that we've
Was
been
it-
to in all of our years.
Gretchen Wilson.
And I only knew one song. Ed Sheeran's the only place we've ever been to see music is the only one I've known most of the songs.
Wow.
Because the only one I've chosen. You choose. I think you've chosen all the other concerts we go to.
Well, yeah, because you don't choose. You're just like, oh, that'd be good to go there. Hey, you want to go that? Nah, it costs
No.
money.
It does cost money.
And I'm like, we could have gone to Ludacris, and you're like, nah, it costs money.
That's true.
I was like, if I don't pick the thing and go, boom, we're going,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen.
I'm just saying things cost money.
So Ed Sheeran was the one.
Ryan said, "What are you drinking?" He also said, "Hurry up and finish your beer." But
I have no idea what I'm drinking.
I didn't. Pour
Oh,
it.
it's a Palm Sway
I was like, I didn't pour that.
Coronado. It's my go-to because it's only $15 a 6-pack for a nice, what is it called? Craft beer.
Yeah.
From Coronado,
And he likes the
California.
flavor. He's not just drinking.
No, I really do. I don't, like, I steered away from Phantom Bride. My palate changed.
It's not a hazy.
It's not.
He has
but
hazies.
it is tropical.
It is.
So it has that hazy little tinge to it. Is that what it's called? Tang to it? It really does have a tropical bite to it. So it's nice.
All right. What's your next good thing?
What's that?
What's your next good thing?
Oh,
Or you want to talk more about Aftershock?
I already talked about Aftershock.
I brought up Aftershock.
Oh, Sarah and I went to a private training session of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
That we did.
And I cannot, and if you go back into the archives of our podcast, I was really into jiu-jitsu.
And I really wasn't.
But you have to really go back in the archive. We're talking pre-video, I think.
Yeah.
So the jiu-jitsu literally changed my life. It puts my anxiety in check. It puts my claustrophobia in check. It puts my arrogance in check. It puts a lot of things in check.
Yeah.
So we're back. We went once,
Once.
but I'm going back on Monday.
Yeah.
By myself. Sarah's gonna go once a month. I'm gonna start going like once a week at most. Probably once a week, and then the week that we go together, I'm just gonna go that. But if I can't preach it enough, like some sort of physical self-defense or offensive martial arts, I can never preach that enough. Because being older than a lot of people that probably listen to this, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of if you get an altercation, you're going to. So be confident enough to go, I don't need to be in this altercation because I can get out of it.
Right.
So, and I found that way, I was like, you don't need to knock somebody out or kill someone to get out of an altercation.
Yeah.
You can remove yourself from the situation as they try to get you, and
Right.
then you can step away.
Yeah.
And this is the one thing that I did find gives you the confidence to do that. But it also helps you not be so alone. Like you have to have a partner to do this
Right.
with, not your personal partner. But I have to say, good thing was she did come with me, and no joke, I was talking to, who was I talking about this earlier today? I had a meeting with some people with Hitachi and Time Tabletop. Sarah's a G.
Who, me?
Yeah. Like there's a point where you do a knee on belly move that you can stop breathing just by putting a knee on somebody's gut and doing certain things. And she got me to the point where I was like, I could barely breathe.
This is why I don't do jujitsu. I'm scared of my own talents, so I just don't do it.
But no, it was really, but she also could take a knee on belly. I didn't go full force, but I was like, we're in training mode.
Right.
Like if somebody's trying to kill me, I'm going to go. But yeah, so it was pretty intense. So yeah.
It almost makes me want to go. I can't go with Scooter. He's too pinchy for me. I'm just kidding.
Too pinchy? What's pinchy mean?
I told you this. You pinch.
Yeah, it's called gripping. You hold on to
You don't grip my skin.
Then what do I grip? The air next to your skin?
You grip the pants.
I
told you this already. That's why I stopped playing the last time. Kept gripping my arm fat. I was like, there's too many bruises. I look like I'm abused.
Oh,
Anyways,
boy.
I did get one bruise from that.
Yeah.
Then it went away.
And I don't even understand how you got that one.
I don't know.
There was no move that had anything to do with.
You looked at my arm and I got a bruise.
I know. It's like it was her
friggin'
inner arm.
peach. Yeah.
Inside of her inner arm was like none of the moves we did.
No.
Maybe you pinched yourself for trying to arm bar me.
No.
I'm just saying. That's the only time anything would touch that.
But it does make, I mean, I miss going to martial arts. I miss doing something. Like I miss kickboxing a ton.
Yeah.
It makes me want to go do something.
Well, and that was kind of the thing. I think it sparked something in us because we talk about this. Spark something. That's kind of our intro to this whole thing. Spark a conversation, something like that. But the conversation of being more active.
Yeah.
I've also done multiple days this week of pull-ups, push-ups, squats. I can still do 5 pull-ups, clean pull-ups. I can still do 5.
You can.
I used to do like 12 to 15.
Still at 0.
But I can do 5. But it's one of those things of also you wanting to do kickboxing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, motivation. Got up today, made sure our bag, the bottom was full.
Full of water.
The bag is ready to go.
It is.
We have a punching bag. Also used the hose to spray off the front of the house while I was out there.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of critters.
Yeah.
But they're washed away for now. Itsy bitsy spidered.
Yeah. All right. I have one more good thing.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys know this. I mean, I feel like you all should. Football's back and it's wonderful.
It's been back for weeks.
But I
Months.
feel like people aren't appreciating how nice it is to just turn the TV on like multiple days a week and there's football on. It just makes my heart so happy. So happy. So happy. So
I do enjoy
thing.
this part of the year where she gets excited about football.
So happy.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you keep paying attention to this podcast, probably by next week you might see something in her background.
Did you order it?
Oh yeah.
Is it my flower pot?
No.
One of these days, guys.
Our backgrounds are going to change. I'm going to try and keep them fresh and not keep them stale.
Stagnant.
Yeah, I'm thinking about moving them around every month or so.
Okay.
Just to keep them a little fresh.
Nice. Surprise me too.
There's a couple things that I've ordered. So pay attention to our backgrounds if you want. Maybe we'll do like a questionnaire. It's like, hey,
What's missing? What's
moved? Missing? What's new?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're also what team to go for? I am an Eagles fan. Philly Eagles.
She's an
Those are
Eagles
my people.
person. I'm a Seahawks person.
Yeah.
I was born and raised kind of in Montana, and for a couple years I was a Broncos fan. But my young adult and adult life was in the Pacific Northwest. So
I'm also a Homies fan. I was a Chiefs fan, but then they put Taylor Swift on the TV too effing much, so I had stopped being a Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
it's a lot.
Can't do it.
I mean, NFL loves it.
right.
The financial status
Oh, yeah.
of them is like now they can play in Europe.
Yeah.
Thanks to Taylor Swift, I guess.
Right.
No, I will always be a Seahawks fan. I mean, I'm in California, so it's not a popular opinion, but it's also not a popular opinion for you to be a
No, it's not.
Eagles fan.
It's not. And I don't actually care.
No.
I found one buddy. He works at Costco. He works at the exit line at Costco. Always has the Eagles hat on.
Swoop Nation.
Swoop Nation.
That's
I
what
would go birds.
But they do it West Coast Swoop Nation is what they say. If you're an Eagles fan in like the West Coast,
Yeah.
they call them Swoop Nation. I
The
don't
amount
know
of people who are like, so you're from Philadelphia? I'm like, no. Like, you're just an Eagles fan? Like, yeah.
But at least you've been there.
Yeah,
You've been to Philadelphia. You've been to an Eagles game.
I have.
So
Hopefully one more time this year. It's kind of a weird thing where you're like, I want my team to not do well so that I can actually afford to go to a game. That'd be great. Because when they do well, tickets are like $400. If they don't do well, I can get out like $150-ish.
Yeah, but also if you're in the chat, chime in on who your
Yeah.
American football team is, because we're not against any team. We're not
No.
die hard like that.
No, Tom Brady's done playing. I don't care anymore. I have no enemies.
Yeah, he's one.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is close to an enemy.
Freaking retire already.
Yeah, and Urel says Texans. Well, that tracks.
Yeah.
I mean,
One of these days, they're going to make it somewhere.
there was a time, I think, if I'm not correct, were they not the Oilers back in the day?
Yeah.
It was Oilers, then they became the Texans, correct?
I think you're correct.
Tell me-
I know they were the Oilers.
Okay, because the Oilers,
1912.
no, they were 1980s. They were in the playoffs, and I think what was his name, Warren Moon.
Okay.
Was the quarterback back in, I think it was the late 80s, early 90s. I saw them in a playoff game against Denver.
Nice.
So yeah, I think it was Warren Moon for the Houston Oilers.
She said yes, Houston Oilers.
Yeah, Houston Oilers,
Yeah.
but I think it was Warren Moon. So I really liked him.
Yeah.
I thought he was a great quarterback because I was a big John Elway fan,
Mhm.
but I was like, this Warren Moon guy's giving him a run for his money. So,
I have a mini rant about football, though.
Mm.
It bugs me that, I don't know if you guys have looked into this, because I have, because I'm a crazy person. The tickets in the U.S. to go to a football game are crazy, right? But they have
Yeah.
all these they have 3 overseas games this year.
England, they're all in England
No.
now.
England
I thought
and
they were-
one was in Brazil.
Oh, dang.
The ticket to the England game, it was like 126 pounds, and those were like good seats. And I'm like, the F are you saying right now? I can fly to England to go see a game for less expensive than it is to go to Philadelphia and see a game.
It really is.
That's
If you
crazy.
encompass the whole package.
Yes, that's
and
bananas.
it's thousands of dollars to get to England.
It's crazy.
But
Don't
yeah,
get me started on the Super Bowl. The fact that they're like, listen, guys, we have really good packages out there starting at $7,500. F off right now. Go F off. $7,500. That's
at $7,500, there should be a happy ending option.
$700
Just
that
an
I should get to meet every friggin' player on the team and get to meet whoever's performing at halftime,
yep,
and my
performing
food
halftime.
and alcohol should be included, and my hotel room.
And they fly Ed Sheeran in to shake your hand.
Yes, for 75.
And play a song for you.
Yeah, and I get something signed at the end of all this.
Your boobies.
Sure, I don't even care. My shoe, my boobs are weird.
Your boobs
Anyways.
are weird.
It's weird that someone signed my boobs.
It is weird, but people do it. Like, it was a thing. And I was
And
like, I don't
then-
understand. Why would you do that?
Just
Because
wash
you
it
didn't
away.
have digital cameras.
Right.
How are you going to, I was like, hey, Mom, can you take a Polaroid of my
Yeah.
signed boobs?
That's
No,
a pass.
it'd be weird.
That's weird.
So,
All right. let's
those are my 2 good things
Okay.
was Aftershock. Did you already push it?
no.
Aftershock and going back to jujitsu, because those are kind of things that drive me as a human being is better body movement,
Mhm.
and better music.
Nice.
That's what it was.
All right, now I haven't pushed the button. Rant of the week. Rant of the week.
Rant of the week.
Niece
I didn't write anything down.
for a rant.
Yeah, I don't have it.
I
Maybe
have
something.
2.
Maybe I'll get triggered.
Number 1.
Number 1.
So for some reason, not for some reason, I had to do a bunch of calls today for work, which I don't like calling people. People annoy me, just in general. So I called somebody, and I called 45 people today, by the way. So just know that I get a call back from somebody that says, "Hey, you called me, but I don't have anything to do with the company." I said, "Okay, which company did I call you from?" She said, "I don't know." I said,
Then how do you don't have anything? To
I
do with
left
that
you
company?
I left a voicemail. So I'm like, well, I don't know how to not call you because I don't know who you're from. And she's like, well, I talked to somebody else and I told them that they're calling the wrong number.
Who's
And
somebody else?
so I talked to Becca and she's like, no, the lady called me. I said the same thing. I'm sorry. Who did I call for? And she said, I don't know. I said, ma'am, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get a call in 7 days because we don't. And the number that she said that we called from, I didn't call. I've never called before ever. I looked at my whole call history. I've never called her from the number that she said we called from. And I'm like,
They're laundering.
ma'am, I
They're laundering
can't
money.
help you. But I promise in 7 days you're about to get another phone call because
Yeah, that sounds like money
I
laundering.
don't know who you are.
That's ridiculous.
So I just feel like if you're going to call somebody back and say, hey, I got a missed call, be like, you were looking for Joe. Joe with this is what you said in your message. I'm not Joe and I don't work for this company.
Well, not only that, I was like,
Or don't call me back.
Just-
I don't care which one.
I think that stems on to the point of just leaving a voicemail.
Yeah.
Because on the same note, we had some discrepancies in a gentleman sending some information to us, your company.
Yeah.
And saying he's contacted us multiple times.
Yes.
Yes. I look back on that business line's number and there's like 7 missed calls. No voicemail, no
Mhm.
nothing. I don't know what this number is.
Right.
I have no idea what this number is.
Right.
So, since there's just a number coming in, here's my rant. This gonna be my thing. It was like, don't say I've tried to get in contact with you multiple times when you've just called the number and left no message,
Yes.
left no text, no email. You just called the number. It went to voicemail. You didn't leave a voicemail.
You hung up. Yep.
That is not you reaching out and
No.
tried to contact me multiple times.
No.
Saying, hey, this is Jarvis Jinkerson
Right.
from Jinkerson Inc.
Okay.
It's got to be a real company somewhere. I just made that up. Jarvis Jinkerson from Jinkerson Incorporated.
Yeah.
And you contact me about my whatever. Please call me back at
Yes.
4700 15th Street.
Yes.
Just, I mean,
I agree. I don't
pretty-
understand people.
it's pretty
And then they
normal.
want to be upset. And I'm like, I'm sorry that we've called you 3 times. But if after 3 times you still don't know who we're calling you about and you can't even tell us who we're calling you about, we don't call one person a day.
You should really talk to your psychoanalyst and go, do you even know who you are?
Yeah.
No, that's a frustration of mine. Don't leave a voicemail.
Yeah.
Leave a voice note. Send me a text. I mean,
All right, here's my last rant.
yeah,
You ready?
it's your last one.
My last rant for today. Just
Sure.
kidding, for right now. I fly a lot. And I love people and they bring their kids on flights and it's great. But the ones who want to teach their kids independence as we're all getting on the effing plane drives me crazy. They're like, hey, little Billy, why don't you go find us a seat? I want this
Nope.
seat. You want to sit in the middle? Yeah. Okay, let's sit down. No, I don't want to sit in the middle. Okay, let's keep going. Homie, there's 100 people trying to get on this effing plane. Teach Billy independence on a different day and a different flight at a different time because nobody here gives an F that he wants to pick a seat.
Wasn't that kind of the same?
He gets one chance.
But
Billy gets one chance.
That was my same rant. You go back, I think it was our last podcast about the person like teaching their kid how to put stuff on the conveyor belt.
Yes.
No. I mean, if you're the only person in the store,
Yes.
cool. But there's like, I'm not exaggerating. There was 7 people behind
Right.
him, 6 behind me.
Yeah.
This is not the time,
Right.
bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally get that.
I'm,
Like,
I'm all for it.
I'm
and I
all for
understand.
children's independence,
Yes.
but like, we don't need. This is not the time to have the learning curve,
No.
right? Do it on a
I'm like,
smaller.
cool. Billy picked the seat. Know what that means? Sit your A down. That's what it means. That means Billy's out of choices.
Well, it's like you made a choice,
Right.
So now you get to deal with your choices.
Yes.
Like that's actual learning.
Yes. You picked
Not
a middle
like,
seat.
oh, I get to get up and move. And it's like, nobody else on this plane gets to do that.
No, we're done.
I don't care if you're 75 years old.
Yeah.
If you're 5, it's the same rules.
Yeah, no.
You pick a seat, you sit in it,
Yeah,
we,
no,
we
we're done.
take off.
We're done. We've
I
sat
get
down.
that.
And the funny thing is, I wasn't even behind them. I was already sitting down. But the
Oh, but you
people's
could see-
faces.
Screw the, you
and
knew
I
the
knew
frustration.
my feeling of like, if I was behind this person right now, and this kid has now picked 4 different rows because he doesn't know where he wants to sit, I would have been like, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to pick a seat for your family because there's like 6 of you guys.
Oh, just
and you're
don't,
letting
you don't
one-
talk to her. You just got to talk to the kid.
No,
It's like, pick a seat or I'm killing your puppy.
that's awful.
How's your puppy doing, Tommy?
I would never.
Pick your seat. Be quiet.
No,
Don't move. otherwise your puppy dies.
Would never.
I'm just saying, those kind of things do work with kids.
Yeah, but that's terrible.
But it's
I
also,
think it's also
it's not going to cost me any therapy. They're the person that's like,
not getting kicked off a plane.
I didn't threaten the country. I didn't say there was a gun, bomb,
Threaten the
nothing.
dog.
I just, no, there's no dog on the plane. If there was a dog on the plane, it's like, see that dog over there?
Terrible.
Do you know what I'm going to do to that dog? Not
Because
good
you
things,
won't sit
Tommy.
the F down.
You chose a seat. Sit in that seat. Otherwise, that dog.
Ay.
Bad things are going to happen to that dog.
Terrible. But anyways, yeah. That was one of my. I wrote that in a note and I thought this must have meant something to me because I wrote it down. I must have been really annoyed.
It is one of those. I mean, kids got to learn how to travel and do those kind of things, and I totally get that.
Yeah.
And even if it does maybe mildly annoy your neighbor, they'll get over it.
Yeah.
But holding up
Right.
multiple people because it's like that's something you need to teach your kids pretty early. It's like you're not the center of attention when you're in a group of 175 people. You're just not.
Right.
I mean, unless you're the next, Taylor Swift. I mean, unless you're performing and people are supposed to be looking at you, then that's not a thing.
I think
it's
the
like,
last time we flew as a family, I picked the kids' seats as well. I was like, sit down behind us.
you did. It was like, you're sitting behind us right there. And they just sat down. And they were
Thank
like
you.
teenagers.
Yeah.
They were all teenagers.
Yeah, they were
Bless
young.
them. With all of them.
Oh, okay, that's all I have. That's all my rants. You have anything else you thought?
I really didn't. I mean, excuse me. Did you hear that burp on the...
Everyone hurt you.
Oh, not everyone.
Well, do you want me to what's up and you get yourself a beer?
Oh, sure.
And then you listen to my audio message and tell me if you figured out the song?
No, I am not.
You could do both.
We can't. What are you trying to do to me?
Figure out the song.
I'm already breaking a sweat.
Why?
Well, because...
I'm cold, you guys. I don't know. This October weather, it's getting to like 70.
It's not her weather. It's her heart.
Aw, that's true. All right, we ready? What's up? Oh, who's going to say the noise?
What?
Who's going to say what's up in you?
Sup in you. I mean, we could move things around. I don't care. You want to go for it? Can you do the what's up in your area?
No, but I will. I'm the bartender.
Right about now.
Funk show.
Soul.
Funk show brother.
What are you doing to my brother?
Okay. Also, I have a cough.
Oh, she does. Like,
That's
she
just
had a
gonna
little
come out.
cold right after we got back from Aftershock. No, right after jiu-jitsu. The
Yeah.
day after. And the sickness
It's
had
lingering.
lingered, but the little tickle in her throat,
It's forever.
which is not me, which is kind of a bummer.
All right. Too far.
But she has a tickle in her throat that's not me.
Okay.
Sad.
What's wrong with you?
That's sad.
Go away. I'll do what's up by myself. All right. Where do I start? Okay, obviously everyone knows it's Halloween this week. So this weekend, if you want to do anything Halloween-y, it exists. Go do a pub crawl, go do a costume party, go do whatever you want. It is happening this weekend. I guarantee anywhere around you, there's something to do. So Sacramento, we have a vampire ball at Harlow's, and I actually love Harlow's. It's a very cool location. I don't want to hang out with a bunch of people who have fake teeth and it's all weird and vampire-y. But it sounded like something fun to do. Fresno had a Beetlejuice dinner and cooking class, and I thought that sounds fun. You get to make like 3 drinks, and then you make an appetizer, you make like a steak or chicken dinner, and then you sit around and watch Beetlejuice. And I thought, how fun would that be? I love cooking classes. Did you hear that? Oh, you got things. There was a Beetlejuice dinner and cooking class in Fresno this weekend, and I was saying how awesome it sounds. In Olympia.
What's up with you?
Sorry. In Olympia, they have a makerspace where you get to do CNC plasma cutting. And I thought, holy
What?
crap, that sounds amazing. They teach you how to do it. It's a beginner's class.
What's CNC stand for? Because I feel like I did know. Because is
I don't
it
know.
cutting wood?
No,
Oh,
this one's plastic. No, this is like a metal
wow.
CNC machine.
That's
You use
even
metal.
cooler.
I know.
What is it? Cut and clip,
I don't know.
crip and clap?
Don't know what it stands for.
Is that an STD? Crip and clap?
Sounds like it. Okay, I feel like this is Bailey and Ryan. There's a place
CNC.
called You have a phone. Yoked Farmhouse. Have you heard of this place?
What's
It's in
up in
Olympia.
you, Yoked Farmhouse?
They're doing a brew tour and dinner and a candle making class this weekend. And I thought, sounds like a good time. Just saying.
Sounds like a good time.
All right. In Houston. Houston has...
What?
Oh, sorry.
What's up in you?
Sabrina Carpenter. She's like all the rage right
Oh,
now.
that's cool.
She's okay. But they're also
Easy.
doing Pumpkin Fest, and that sounded fun. But the best thing that's happening this weekend is happening in Seattle. You ready for this? He didn't say it yet.
What is it called? Seattle.
Yes.
What's up in you?
Seattle is having Meow Convention. It's called C Meow Convention, and is a whole cat convention where they have cats that you can adopt. They have people dressed up as cats. They have cat merchandise. They have cat drinks, which sounds weird. But they have everything cats is at this convention in Seattle. And I thought, that sounds terrible and cute at the same time. That's all my WhatsApps.
If I wasn't
You would
allergic,
die there.
I know, but I was gonna say if I wasn't allergic to cats, I feel like we would become a cat owner somewhere along the
I
because
wouldn't.
they're easier to travel with.
I don't like cats.
You've had some bad experiences with cats.
I've had only bad experiences with cats.
I hear you,
So
but that doesn't mean
that's exactly
they're
what it
bad.
means. Yeah.
No.
That means I would never get a cat.
Okay. I'm just saying
Allergic
I've
or
had
not.
really bad experiences with cats also. But I've also had positive experiences with cats. Like they were really my friend, my pet. They were fun.
Yeah, I
They
hear
were
what you're
fun to
saying.
hang out. They were my buddy. They would fetch for me. They would
Yeah.
greet me at the door. They would say goodbye
I've
to
met
me when I
some cool
leave.
cats.
Yeah.
Don't want one. A cat.
CNC. Man, was I way off. CNC is a computer numerical control.
All right.
So the concept is like you program it to cut things.
Yes.
I'm sure probably URL probably is like, duh, Scooter. But I do know of them, but I've only heard of the CNC machines for guitars and like small like wooden things that they cut for board games.
Oh, that's
So
funny.
just saying
Because
that's
I've only known CNC as like parts for equipment or like custom made things. 'Cause
mine's metal.
that's all I
Mine's
know.
always been metal and not metal.
Wood.
Sorry. Wood for guitar cutting out because that way instead of cutting it out manually, every guitar comes out the same
Right.
way.
Yeah.
And the other one was for small game pieces because you can like upgrade on Kickstarter to have something CNC
Yeah.
wood, and I was like, oh, those are cool. Like Weird Draft Games has done that for us before and stuff like that. That's why. Oh yeah, and I'm pouring my second beer. It is what is it?
It's Tioga Sequoia.
It's what?
Oh, sorry, General Sherman. But it's from
Fresno?
Fresno.
Yeah.
Tioga Sequoia Brewery.
So this is
I saw it and I thought, hey,
we haven't had that in a
that's
minute.
cheap.
That's true. But no,
That's why
we
I
haven't
bought
had
it.
that in a minute. Every time we go to Fresno,
Yeah.
we get this in bottles.
No, we usually get the cans. You and me usually has it at our house.
It's usually in bottles. Well,
He's
maybe
wrong.
it's been a while.
he's wrong.
Obviously. So yeah, it's a Simcoe Citra Mosaic.
It's very tasty though. I like that one.
Yeah, it's a little bit higher ABV, which is
If I was having a beer.
let's see what happens.
Oh God. All right. Shout out. Can I listen to my note first?
No.
Can you vamp while I listen to my note?
What are you talking about?
I want to hear if he knows the answer.
Well, we can. I can't mute your mic. I mean, I can.
No, I
but
was
I'm
gonna
not
go over there.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do. Let's do this here. Shout out.
Woo!
All right, I'm gonna do shout outs. Just my shout outs because Sarah is so distracted tonight. It's ungodly. It really is. She's usually so focused during the day when it comes to work. But as soon as we do something like this, it's like, have you ever thrown a ping pong ball into like a metal box? It's kind of like her brain right now. Ba-pum-pum. But it also would have ping pong ball into a box with 100 mouse traps. Yeah, that's what's going on right now. So shout outs. Oh, it's not on my phone. It's right here. So I have to really give a big shout out. Oh, she's back. Did she hear what I said? Log off. I really have to give a shout out to our buddy, even though I'm not drinking a log off beer tonight. Log off, just as an establishment and as a company, they're Log Off Brewing here in Rancho Cordova, which is like what, 20 miles away, 15 miles away.
Yeah.
I just have to say that and we've shouted them out before multiple times, but the way that they treat us as human beings when you go in there and as business partners in a sense, because we partner with them. We do like board game stuff. We're doing Jenga tournaments. We're starting to do Jenga tournaments in Rancho Cordova at Log Off once a month. They do music bingo. Shout out to Ryan, who's won a couple times, I think, out there at music bingo. And just they're one of the breweries that just do stuff that's not normal. Is that,
car shows and rock concerts. And...
Well, yeah, and it nailed it. Most people have like trivia nights, and then they have like a bingo night, or they have a paint night. Those are pretty common in breweries.
Yeah.
But this one's had like a metal show. This one's having a sleepover tonight.
What?
Yeah, they're having a late night. Home brewers bring your stuff in and swap out. So they're like kind of building the community before it's their brewers, before they have a brewery. So having like a sleepover thing. Car shows. Yep. They're, classic cars coming out there and doing their stuff.
They did like a small vendor thing where like people just come do the little
like a small swap meet type. They're just doing stuff that local community is getting involved on anything artistic. It just feels like they're there.
Yeah.
So I have to give them a huge shout out, because in all of that and trying to branch out and do that stuff, they're still like so excited to have us there once a month and doing our thing, even though it's on sometimes this time of year, especially
slow.
Sundays are slow at breweries. And that's usually, unless somebody's there, unless they're promoting American football, unless they're promoting football.
Yeah.
Which you really can't do that to a point.
Right.
The NFL just will shut you down.
Yep.
So it's kind of nice to have somebody like that in your corner.
Yeah.
At all times.
I agree.
So
I love
huge
them.
shout out to and it's got to do with like Kenny, the new-ish owner. God, he's been probably an owner for a year.
Yeah.
Nicole, she's
cool.
a great manager.
Yeah.
One of the best hands-on managers I've seen of anything.
Yeah.
The staff there, young staff, vibrant staff. You can tell they like being there. What's the young gal's name? Is it Emma?
I'm bad with names.
I think it was Emma. I'll have to look it up. Because I feel bad because she's just so cool and
Yeah.
So.
All right, well, let's cheers log off.
Oh.
I poured a happy.
Cheers to log off. We're gonna drink whiskey to cheers log off. That's weird.
I don't think so. Also, Log Off does an annual trip to Ireland.
Yeah.
It's like a week, right?
Yeah, they do a week trip and they go up there. They visit like the Guinness places and all the brewery kind of things up in Ireland. They do it once a year. It's not cheap, but it's cheap in relation to if you were gonna buy it yourself.
So I'm gonna put that out there. The next 3 years, we're going back to Ireland.
We gotta go to other places first. We're going to Brazil.
What?
Football. You mentioned
wherever
Brazil.
wherever the next game is where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
I have to shout out Scooter.
Uh-oh.
Because he has sat down and watched Love Is Blind with me the whole season.
Yeah, we watched it.
And he's loved it.
I didn't love it.
He was going to break our TV yesterday on Wednesday when we watched it.
Oh.
He was going to put our TV in the trash.
Oh. Why do you have to put...
See? Go ahead.
What are their names?
Taylor and Garrett.
It was Taylor and Garrett.
Yes.
Already. Yes.
Those are the two. Scooter says has to make it in life, or else he's gonna get rid of our TV and break
this.
it to pieces.
This honestly happened. Like I've never watched this show. I guess it's like 47 seasons in.
It's not that many.
Probably.
It's like 7.
Okay, in the States, but it's all over the world.
Well, we started it, but yeah.
Okay, that's not what I'm saying. It's probably 47 seasons in some.
A combination.
All of them,
okay.
Right? She's like, okay, since I'm watching your stupid ass sci-fi crap.
Okay, don't start that because I start sci-fi. Podcast.
So we, I was like, yeah, I'll sit and watch it. I was like, this is dumb. I was watching it and it was dumb. I was like, this is dumb. This guy's fake. This guy's a jerk. This guy's actually nice, but he doesn't even know how to be nice. And I'm sitting there like, but then by third episode, I go, that's what this show is about. Me to have those judgments of these people.
Yes.
I go, okay, now I got there. But yeah, I got invested in, because I'm invested in personalities for sure. Because I love character arcs in shows and movies. I love seeing how they're developing them. But this is just like not real life, but it's like as real life as you can get.
Right.
So yeah, there's this couple. Wednesday night, I was like, so you have to decide. I don't know if anybody's watched Love Is Blind. It's
You should.
basically you don't get to see this person. You get to just have dates, like speed dates, with everybody verbally. And then you get to start choosing who you want to have more dates with, which are longer.
Yep.
But verbally.
Yes.
Not over the phone, but they're across, a
Between
wall,
a wall,
where
yeah.
between a wall you can hear each other and talk. And then they whittle it down and those kind of things. So there's obviously triangles and stuff like that. But there's a couple of people that were just like, this is my one.
Yeah.
The whole time. So I was like, this is awesome. Asked to marry. They're going to get married. And then they have like the wedding day was the other day. And Sarah goes, oh yeah, they can.
They could still say no.
They can still say no at the altar. And I go, excuse me?
He lost his mind.
I said, excuse me? That's what I was like, no. Yeah. If that happened, like there was, I don't know if anybody's, spoiler alert, there was two couples. There was one couple. I was like, listen, I'm not joking. We have like a 70-some inch TV, which is ridiculous size TV. But I said, if they don't work out, I am trashing this TV. I'm breaking it somehow. I'm ripping it off the stand, and it's setting next to our garbage can outside. I'm not going to break it in half because that's messy, but I'm going to break it to where it does not work, and I'm going to put it out there. And she goes, well, that's a little dramatic. I was like,
It was dramatic.
listen, these two have gone off camera, on camera. Their parents didn't want to be on camera. Now they're on camera. It was just like, there's no way. I was so like,
He's in it.
I'm going to cry.
He
And
did
so-
cry multiple times on this show, by
But
the
they
way.
made it.
Yeah.
But they made it. And then she tells me the end of the show. Oh, she goes, they have a, what is it called?
Reunion shows
They have
next
a
week.
reunion show. I was like, what do you mean? She goes, yeah, some of the reunion shows, they didn't make it. And it was like, excuse me? I was like, this TV of ours will never be safe if we keep watching that kind of a show.
I mean, I'll watch it without you. It's whatever.
Oh,
But he enjoyed
I'm
it.
sweating right now.
He
No,
enjoyed it.
I cried a lot.
Yes.
Not a lot. I was like, I'm not a pussy. All right. Come on, bro.
He did cry a lot.
But yeah, I did. I was
Yeah.
like, because it awakens something. If you watch shows that have relationships in them, and you've been in 1,000 relationships like I have, there's some trigger moments.
Yeah.
There's some triggers in there going, I'm a dick like that. Like, that's me.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
Right.
Like, that's gross. It's like, ew.
Yeah.
I'm that ick. I'm the ick in that story. I'm the ick. Yeah. And I was like, I hated those things, and kind of vice versa. And having, yeah.
It's a good show.
So it hurt my throat just now.
Bailey said she's obsessed with Love Is Blind. Bailey, we need to chat later because Scooter was like, from the moment Ramsey's face showed up, Scooter's like, don't like that guy. That guy's not good. I don't like him.
Which one's
The
Ramsey?
two braids guy.
Oh, a little break. Did she watch the whole show?
Oh, I don't know.
Bailey, I don't know if you watched this whole season. That's why I don't want to say anything. But since day one, the guy with he has a septum. He has a septum piercing and the two braids. Didn't like him from day one.
Yeah.
Day one. I was like, nah. He's a gaslighter.
He is.
That's what I said from day one. I
Yeah.
was like, he's a gaslighter.
Yep.
He's gonna make
He never actually answers any questions.
Nope. Anytime he makes it about him.
Yeah.
And never answers the question.
Yep.
Not since day one.
I know.
I was like, no. you're gross. And the other people that are
And then Hannah, Scooter loved Hannah and the pods.
Until they
And
got
then
on the
she got on the
pods?
pods, and Scooter's like,
I would
"What
punch
is
her in the
wrong
throat.
with this lady?" I was like, "She's a freaking
a
psychopath."
You said she's a Scooter that never
Yes.
lived by himself.
Yeah, I said it's like an unchecked Scooter. If no one had told you that it's not okay to talk to people a certain way, that would be you.
Yeah, and I was Hannah without being checked.
Yes.
If I hadn't been checked.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. No, I agree.
You have
with
some
that.
Hannah moments sometimes. Where I'm like,
God, I know.
listen, I'm gonna need you to dial it back like 8 notches.
Says Bailey's chiming in. Oh, Ramsey has always been so icky to me.
Yes.
Marissa is a gem.
Scared like Marissa's voice.
Marissa's not a gem.
Marissa needs to get a back.
She became a gem
yeah, towards the end.
because she was so fake for 75% of the show.
Yeah, that's fair.
She and that's when I called it out. I was like, that's not even her real voice.
Right.
Like she's talking up here like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not her.
Yeah.
Wait till things start happening. And when things started actually happening, and then she was wearing less makeup, and that was like, and you got to meet her mom,
Yeah.
and you got to go, I like this
Right.
person.
Yeah.
But the person that was talking like this, and I was like, that's not even, I was like, that's not even her.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I knew it wasn't her. I said that since day one. I was like, no, she should have taken the white military guy.
She should have taken the military guy. Bailey said she can do no wrong, in my opinion.
At the end, I agree. But at the beginning, she was too much.
Oh man, then that I'm sure no one wants to hear this whole thing, but here we go. Then the friggin' was it Ashley? The one who's like her husband's like family was in town and she went to go take a nap and he was like,
and they talked about off camera, she put her hand on his mouth
that's
to shut him
where
up.
he should have cut off right then. As soon as he said we got in an argument and you put your hand on my mouth, I was like, the F you just say? That why would you continue?
No,
Why
we could have a whole episode about this.
we could.
So maybe we should have. I mean, realistically, we have Zoom. We could do Zoom
Watch
calls.
parties?
I mean, I don't know if
No, because people would be like, stop, get up and go pee, Scooter.
it's fine.
It's been 17 times. Sit down.
So I have to say, no. Yeah. I really at the end I had my favorites were definitely what was her name? Taylor.
Taylor and Garrett.
I wrote down Taylor.
Yes.
What's her name? She said Marissa.
Yeah. you
Marissa
like
was
Marissa.
really
Yeah.
growing on me towards the end.
Yeah.
She's like, wow, okay, there's your backbone. Use your backbone.
Yeah.
I like you. A Garrett for sure.
Yeah.
Like he's a screw up and not a screw up, but it's like he's a focused on my career and my family.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
I do hope they make it.
Yeah, me too. And then the other guy that had like 3 sperm babies.
Yeah. That whole thing is odd.
That bummed me out that she was upset about that.
But I also think there's more than what is even there. I mean, again, all these things pop on my feeds now. And so, like, more things that are happening about, like, what actually happened and how the kids actually came about is less of, like, it was just sperm and they were just sleeping together and she had kids. But I hope it's more of the beginning where he's like, no, they just want to have kids.
But either way.
Either way, you have a conversation if you have kids.
Yeah, but it's also either way. I think isn't there's always at the base of every transgression, there's intentionality.
Yeah.
Right. So if your intentionality was skewed,
Right.
then I get it.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like there was some people with really high intentionality.
Yes.
And some people that sounded like they had intentionality and then towards the end go, no, they were just trying to get some.
Yeah. And be famous.
Like, I'm not even gonna say his name. 2 braid guy.
2 braid guy. So my shout out is Scooter because now you guys see how in depth this is. This has been a whole season and it's been great.
The opinions I have, and I have to go back. I was like, sign up to our Patreon because we can have full episodes about shows. I don't have a problem with having like a full live stream, picking a show and just having a live stream about a show.
Yeah.
And bring on callers.
Right.
I mean,
What did you think about
come
that?
in for a little bit. You don't even have to stay the whole time.
That should be our next Patreon next week. We should talk about the reunion when it's all
Cool.
over.
I mean,
Cool.
Bailey, if you want to be a guest, I can set it up. But I really look at that way. It's like, I think those are kind of the fun things that I'd like to do on so I can say this MF.
Yeah.
No, and then play a song and do some fun stuff. Yeah. So
All right. My next one's actually, you get 2 shout outs this week. So
I got what?
I have another shout out for you.
Gross.
For you.
That's gross.
So we were in therapy and Scooter looks at our therapist and he's like, so I think I'm coming to the opinion that I might be an extrovert. I was like, the F is happening right now. I looked at it and I was like, what? I've been telling Scooter for as long as I've known him that he's an extrovert. And he kept telling me, no, I'm not. I'm an introvert.
But I wasn't before you. So you got to understand. Go ahead. I'm not going to cut you off.
Thank you. The whole point I was saying
looking
was,
at me harshly.
I didn't say before me what you were. Thank you. Put your hands down. What I said was, for as long as I've known you, you hanging out with people energizes you. And I'm like, that's not an introvert. An introvert is like me, where I'm like, I've been here for 5 minutes and I want to go take a nap now because I'm exhausted with people. And you're like, no, 10 more minutes. I'm like, well, I've been here for 6 hours and I don't want to do this anymore. You're like, oh, I'm such an introvert. I'm like, no. You see you dancing on that table? That's not an introvert.
That's a narcissist.
But he announced it out loud and I was shocked because he's always told me I was wrong. And it was wonderful.
So we all have seasons in our life. No, I grew up as an introvert. That's fact. And I think the few years before you, I was transitioning into an extrovert.
It's a funny statement.
Why?
Just is. Continue.
So yeah, I mean, hey, I can identify as whatever I want.
You identified as an introvert, but you were a liar. You made us introverts look like we were crazy. You're like, I'm an introvert. I'm like, am I supposed to be dancing on tables and everyone look at me?
I don't think you understand how many years I spent just listening to music, sitting with my guitar, reading comic books, listening to music, trying to figure out music, and talking to no one.
Yeah.
Like so many years.
I know.
You don't know.
But I'm glad you see it now.
But I did notice is like being a little bit of the center of attention or all the center of attention is very rejuvenating for me. It feeds my ego.
Yeah.
So
because even our therapist was like, you look lighter today. Like you look like happier. And I'm like, well, yeah, because he just had friggin' a week and a half of being everywhere and hanging out with people and not being in the house.
Yeah.
Just what I kept trying to. I was like, I told him, you can't be here.
We went to concerts. We did all this stuff. And I was like, yeah. Ready to do more?
I was like, nap time.
You're like, no.
Is it 7:30 yet?
I'm coughing and my hip hurts.
Right.
I'm going home.
Someone's out of place. I'm tired. Someone touched me with their body sweat.
Everybody did.
Ew. All right. My last. Do you have a shout out? I didn't even ask you.
Yeah, I have 3.
Oh, that's my bad.
You gave me 1.
Continue.
My second one is Colo at Buena Vida.
Nice.
There's something about this dude's spirit. I haven't seen him in person in probably a year. But every time I reach out, he's patient and he's kind. He's like, of course, sounds good. Not pandering, but he's also going, you can just fucking show up. That'd be great.
Right.
Instead of just talking about it.
Ooh, you said that word?
Yeah, I did say that word. So, shot. So, just the patience of that human being and the community that he's built without being arrogant.
Yeah.
There's a community that has been built by not just by him, as the people that are his friends, his community. He's built a community of people that's not built out of arrogance. It's built out of just doing something he loves to do. And let's just keep doing that.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Huge shout out, Colo.
Go ahead.
I know you're never going to listen to this thing.
And they got me a white belt.
Nakolo didn't.
Oh.
I got that through a nonprofit.
Oh, that was right. That was the other one.
Kaizen.
Never mind, Colby. You don't get that one. Just kidding.
That's going to be our shout out next week.
Okay.
Trust me.
Trust.
You should.
I should what?
You
Trust
don't
you?
have to, but you should.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. But yeah, Buena Vida.
All right. Is your last one a good one? Because mine's not that good.
Yeah,
but
mine's
I want...
good.
Okay, I'll do
Mine's
mine
good.
first then. So I was not well this past week, 2 weeks ago, but I was traveling for work. And so I stayed at this hotel in Ventura. And I want everyone to stay there. That's all I'm going to say. I just want everyone to stay there. Because it's like, it wasn't super expensive, but it was 5 minutes from a 5-minute walk from the beach. You can get room service if you want, but it wasn't that bougie. But I don't like fried chicken, like whatsoever. I don't like fried foods. I think it's disgusting.
Weird.
I know. But they had a tempura chicken. That was like the lightest thing I've ever had. It was so good. But I think I was also partly starving because I hadn't eaten 3 days. But it was so tasty. And the hotel and everybody was so nice. So I highly recommend. I felt dumb because like I never get room service. And so the person came with the tray to the door. And I was like, thank you. He's like, can I bring it in? I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, they bring it in, put it on the table for you.
I didn't know. I felt like an idiot. And I was like, oh, sorry. Anyways, Ventura, the Marriott in Ventura.
She
highly
did text
recommend.
me a lot that day.
Yeah.
Going, so I got this, and they have this thing.
Oh my
And they have
gosh.
this thing, and they have this stuff, and they have. I
Oh.
was like, what? Where are you? Like you're at a
Heaven.
castle?
I was in heaven is where I was. They let me check in. So I checked in at like noon, I think, that day. And I was like, thank God, because I was friggin' exhausted. And I was like, thank you so much for letting me. They're like, do you want your 4 p.m. checkout? I was like, no, I wish, but my flight leaves at noon. So no.
Right? That is how you said it. No, thank
No,
you.
my flight leaves at
No,
noon.
thank you. No, thank
I was gonna
you.
go lay down now.
She did. She sounded like a 2-year-old with a runny nose.
I did. It was awful. But that I like highly recommend if you're gonna be in Central Coast in California, like the Ventura Hotel. Marriott was so awesome and everyone was so nice.
That's cool.
And I told Scott, I'm like, we're coming back when I feel better.
No, we're planning a trip, obviously, but that's kind of a segue. Segue into this. I have a huge shout out to a text thread that began
Oh, yes. Let me give you the stage.
Thursday morning with me, Ariel, and Bailey. A beautiful text thread that basically said, Warp Tour is back. Who's going? And we're all like, we're going. And we're all like, blah. And then we go, that's expensive. Where are we going to stay? Oh my gosh. So I have to say, my shout out goes to my A and B, and it doesn't go in that order, but my Ariel and Bailey for recognizing not just the want, but the need to go to this. So huge shout out to those two human beings, because we found a way, we figured it out. Ariel, Bailey, myself, Ryan, and Sarah are going to frickin' Warp Tour next year in Long Beach.
Yeah,
It's happening.
it is.
And it's kind of one of those things of a shout out to the human beings, and not just her, but the shout out to the human beings that see something, it's obtainable, and don't talk yourself out of it.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk yourself into it as much as I do, but don't talk yourself out of it.
Yeah.
It's too expensive. What's too expensive? Right? And I started calculating like the plan. I was looking, it was like for a VIP ticket.
It's just math here.
I'm just saying in your company.
Yeah.
Your company. Cost of an average audit, or how you get paid, right? If you did one audit per month,
Yeah.
you could pay for a ticket to go to
It's true.
Warp Tour. If you did two, just two in 1 month, you could pay for VIP.
It's true.
If you did just two,
Yeah.
2 pieces of work per month
Right.
would pay for you going to Warp Tour. That's the science in my brain.
True.
So let's say you're doing all this work and you could do 1 extra just per month. That means maybe one Saturday afternoon per month you just work, or whatever, you just work a couple extra hours, whatever. In my brain I was like, yeah, you have to go.
Right.
In my brain I was like, it makes no sense. We've come to that conclusion because of the experiences that we've had, because of just having that mindset. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Everything's expensive.
Yeah.
But to put a cap of cost on your enjoyment and your happiness and your exploring new things and doing fun stuff for yourself, you can't put a price tag on that.
That's not true.
You can't put a price tag on it. The world does. And your budget, like, we're not going to spend $5,000 to go to a concert for 2 days. We're not.
Okay.
We're not.
It's like he's never hung out with himself before.
All right. There you go. Here's Sarah's shout out. Let me say.
No.
Go ahead. I'm trying to encourage people to go
I
out there and
agree.
live their life, and you're going,
No,
there is a price
you
tag
said
on
it,
fun.
You said it's not like we're gonna go spend $5,000 on 2 days at a concert.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just talked about Aftershock and the $40 pizzas.
Yeah.
It is possible to spend $5,000 in 2 days on a concert.
We were there for 4 days. Different.
Just saying. In your mind, you're like $5,000, whatever, and I'm like, no, it's possible to spend $5,000 in 2 days.
It's all I'm saying is, are you going to? That's conversation I've had for a long time. In 10 years, do you remember how much Aftershock cost us in 2016?
No.
17?
No.
18?
Just this year.
19? 20? 21? 22? You don't remember, but you remember some of the bands we saw?
Kind of.
Some of the experiences we had?
Yeah. Experiences for sure.
Okay, so isn't that what transactional money is kind of for?
True. Did we
Right?
talk about Aftershock on the show before?
No. We talked about
Who did
before.
we talk to then?
Our therapist.
No, because I feel like you didn't even bring up the big thing where you saw Metal Ambassador Megan, but I feel like we've said that before.
Nah.
All right. Anyways, good
that's
shout
fine.
out. Good shout out. Do the
Thanks.
things that make you happy, no matter the cost.
That's the point of money. That is the point of money. The
Yeah.
point of money is to have the security and the ability to do the things that make your life fulfilled. Otherwise, money's kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Realistically, money is made up.
It's like time.
Oh, it's made up. Like it's just we all decided that like this little piece of paper means this.
Yeah.
It's not a real thing. We all just collectively decide that's what it's worth.
It's
That's
true.
it.
It's true. Rant over.
That was not a rant. It was a shout out to Ariel and Bailey, and you made it like, what are you talking about? $5,000. We just talked about $40 pizzas.
We did talk about $4 pizzas.
Yeah, but I was like, you don't know you.
You don't know you.
I do know me. I'm getting to know myself better every day.
You are.
Are you?
You're the most
you?
expensive date I've ever had.
I think that's my question. That's my question to everybody
okay.
out there. It's like, not just you. It's like, I am working on myself to better understand myself every single day. Are you? And I'm not, it's not a,
He is.
it's rhetorical. But are you? As people, are you getting to know yourself better every single day? Are you listening more? Are you listening not just because I think I sent this text to Bailey. It was like, I'm starting to listen to other people about me more, and I'm starting to listen to me about me more. Just starting to listen. Like, instead of just like trying to fix everything in myself, I was like, I'm broken.
Yeah.
just maybe if you listened, you'd find out, oh, you're not so broken. You just have a few tweaks to do.
Yeah.
You know?
So I know it's completely off topic because we're not in shout out. But one thing that you brought up the other
We
day.
are in shout out.
No, sorry. We're not in anything else. What was I going to say?
Ping pong ball in a metal box with 1,000.
Wait, shut up. I'm
mouth
getting
taps.
there. Oh, there was at one point where I kept saying, you need to get out of the house.
Yeah.
And in therapy, you're like, she keeps telling me this. And I'm like, I like who I am right now. But she keeps telling me that to be like this old scooter and get out of the house and do all this
Yeah.
stuff. And you're like, I like me. And I'm like, maybe he wants to be an introvert. And then when you said, I realized I'm an extrovert. And I was like, okay, then I'm not crazy. Because I feel like you like being not here.
So that was a really good long speech to say, I was right. I mean,
No, it was it was a moment of like, I was concerned that I was wanting you to be somebody you weren't. And you're like, no, I like who I am. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you want to be the hermit like me now. And then you're like, you know what? I don't actually. And I was like, oh, thank God. We can't both be hermits. It's awful.
but we need to listen to each other. If I'm listening to you,
You're saying I have to listen to
I
you.
need, maybe we should listen to each other.
Ah, sounds terrible.
I know,
No, thank
because
you.
I'm a listener. I'm working on listening. Is anybody else?
I listen to you all the time.
I don't know.
You do. Stop working so much.
How's
I'm
that?
hungry. There's nothing in the fridge. I'm
Seriously.
out of coffee. Anyways,
Jeez.
you don't have a jingle for Song of the Week, but you want to talk about your Song of the Week?
Oh, so I think we want to change up this to have a little bit Song of the Week. We want to talk about Song of the Week. We might transition this over to our Patreon. But I don't have anything written down. Did you have something written?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You want me to go?
Then
I thought you were going to finish your spiel.
I always have a spiel.
Okay.
But then
Here we go.
now I just feel dumb.
So I never listen to music. I mean, I shouldn't say never. It's rare that I listen to music.
Gross.
Usually if I'm in the car, it's like some type of podcast thing it's on.
Gross.
The only time I listen to music is when you're in the car or when I'm taking CJ to school.
Much better.
Or when I go on walks, I listen to my own music. But it's not new music. It's all my old music that I just keep listening to.
You don't listen to, I mean, you don't just like listen, you don't listen to new music at all?
No, I do. Like when I take CJ to school in the morning, so for about 20 minutes.
So CJ's music.
No.
Like
that's-
TikTok trends.
God, no. CJ's music's awful. No, I listen to Sirius XM. Usually when I take them. But there's a song that came on. And the reason I wrote it down is like, I'm not even sure if it's that good of a song. But it was the best Coldplay song I'd ever heard. So I put it down. But it's Coldplay and like 87 other people. But it was good to the point where I'm like, I have to add
Oh
this
yeah,
to
that
my
had
list.
what's that guy's name?
It had Burna
Burna
Boy in it. Yeah.
Burna Boy.
And it was called We Pray. And Scoot was like, it's very churchy. I'm like, it is. But the beat was good. And it was in different languages.
It's
and
very anthem-y, churchy.
Yeah.
Which is these are not digs.
Right. I
Like,
love anthem music.
I love anthem-y songs. I love churchy music. So I'm just saying if you have that vibe of, you know, positivity, you know, praise the future.
I feel like it should be part of a musical.
like get pumped up.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. Like those songs are important.
yes.
So yeah, so when I say churchy, it's not ever gonna be, well, not ever. There's sometimes what I was like, it's in a negative connotation. But with music, not so much. Because most music, I mean, it's kind of where it comes from. The pain, the sorrow,
My nose is so itchy.
those kind of things and those kind of, but no, it's a really good song. It really felt good. And also had a whole verse in Spanish.
Yeah, it's good.
It was pretty kicking.
I'm for it. Anyways, it's
So it's
called We
like-
Pray.
I mean, it's not going to make me a Coldplay fan.
No.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Because they're not Canadian, but it's fine.
You
But
don't have any song? You don't write anything down?
I have to say I've revisited the Funeral Portrait again.
Mm-hmm.
So because of the music, you know, when we went to the Aftershock. So really that the Dark Thoughts
Yeah.
song has really come back into
It's a good song.
my rotation, and it's not even a super popular song by them. I didn't know that. But Dark Thoughts by The Funeral Portrait, if you don't know that song, you are missing out.
Yeah.
You're just missing out. Like if you're listening to it, it really has kind of like, it's not depressive, but kind of the mess that you're building in your head. The only one that can get you out of that is yourself.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So I just, it's beautifully written. It's so fun to listen to. It's melodic. It has all the parts that a good song should have. Yeah. And it has the little background singer part and has a little whiny guitar and a little lyric. And it's just like, if you want to talk about it, I can point out every point in that. There's like 5 or 6 different parts of the song. Is like, that was a choice.
You don't want them to.
That was a choice in this song that was so perfect. Like, this was so perfect. And they only do it once. You know, it was like, it's a song that does certain things in the song, but it does it one time.
Yeah.
The other songs you can hear is like, it's kind of like if you listen to it, if you're a metal fan, it's kind of like that, God, what's his name from, he was the guitarist for Ozzy Osbourne. But
Slash.
Not even close.
Flea.
No. You need to
Beckham.
stop. What is wrong with you? But it's called Black Label Society is the band. God, what is his name? But he has his own, like, the signature sound of this harmonic when you hit with the guitar. You're wow, that wow. If you do that too often, it's not special.
Right.
It's just too much. And I think a lot of guitarists in metal music are doing it too often. It's not special.
Yeah.
And I feel like the writing of that song and the message that it gives, it's not repetitive. It has the right length. It has certain points in the song where it does cool things, and it only does, like, again, it does it once, so it's special. I just like special parts of songs. I don't know. That's my thing.
I was gonna add too. Sorry, I was about to shout out. There was a chick in Falling in Reverse. Went to go see them, right? So we saw last time Aftershock.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a chick who was standing next to us with her friends. She knew all the words, so shout out to her for like literally knowing all the words.
Yeah.
But it was so cute, and I think it's because I had my sunglasses on the whole time and it was dark. But she kept going, girl, you okay? I'm like, yeah. And so she would hold my hand and she'd go up in the air, and I'm like, I don't know you. I'm not even drunk enough for this. But she's like, girl, are you okay? I'm like, yeah. And she sang a song, girl, are you good? I'm like, yes. Why are you checking in on me?
Well, it was kind of like she was the alter ego of the old white lady that's your best friend.
I know.
Those old white ladies in crowded places love to be Sarah's best friend.
Oh, my dad's calling me.
But this could be, the young version. She's going to become the old lady that's your best friend.
Yes, I know.
So
I'll call him back, I guess.
Do you see? Like, honing her in to focus on this. If it's not work, she's so focused on work. But when here, it's like she's everywhere.
My dad never calls me.
That's not true.
Which is hilarious. It takes us into our Advise Me Not topic.
Advise me not.
Here we go, guys. So I feel like we've talked about how to hang out with your kids when they become an adult, right? As parents. But we never talk about how to hang out with your parents as adults because we're getting to the point where we have family who wants to hang out with us, mostly our parents, and like Scooter's dad and my dad. But how in the world? I don't know how, and I guess it's easier if you had a relationship with your parents that's like very close. But like I think about like my dad right now. I haven't talked to my dad in like 6 or 7 months, which is a really long time. And I don't know how you're supposed to like keep that relationship with your parents and still make them feel like a priority when you have like all these other priorities, especially when you have like kids and spouses and work and all this other stuff. Like, are you supposed to? Is it up to you as the kid to maintain like the closeness with your parents? Is it up to the parents to maintain the closeness with your adult kid? I don't know. Because I have adult kids now, and sometimes I feel like if I call them to see how they're doing, I feel like now I'm like invading their space and their privacy. But then I'm like, but if I wait for them to call me, are they feeling like I don't care because I'm not checking in with them? It's a very odd place I'm at right now because I am the parent and the kid, and I don't know which way I'm supposed to reach out to make it feel like it's not too much. Does that make any sense to anyone who's listening? And I know people out there have parents. Probably not everyone out there has adult kids like we do. But I know you have parents. So like, do you feel that like I need to reach out to my parents to see how they're doing? Or you wait for your parents to reach out to you to see how you're doing? Or is it just like on a whim? You're like, I guess I'll check in with them today. I don't know. Because I have this dilemma with Scooter also with his dad. His dad like wants to come visit us and check in on us. And I'm like, when's the last time you talked to your dad? And he's like, I don't know. I've heard his voice like 3 years ago. And I'm like, that sounds bananas, right? But also his dad doesn't call. And I'm like, well, whose responsibility is it to check on each other when you're like both adults, but you're still their kid? Does that make sense? Did you hear what I said?
Nah.
I'll recap. Whose job is to check in on you?
Check on me?
As the adult, and you have adult kids and you have adult parents. Is it your job to check in on both sides?
It's
Should
both.
one check in on the other?
It's both. I did hear it. I was just messing with you.
Oh, okay.
Because you mentioned my dad a lot.
I mentioned my dad too.
Well,
He just
your dad's, I think that's what kind of triggered it too. But it's like, it's also, it depends on the parent and it depends on the dynamic. Because your dad's not going to be offended that you didn't pick up that call.
He might be.
Okay.
I don't know.
I've known him for 12 years. And I don't think he gets offended like that. And neither does your mom.
Yeah.
Your mom never got offended like that.
Yeah.
There are certain people in your family that probably would, but those are not the people that would.
Right.
You wouldn't get offended.
No.
If you called somebody and they didn't pick up, would you be offended?
No.
No. So it comes to, let me breathe.
You want me to read Urel's thing before you answer?
Yes.
Urel says, I call my mom and dad almost daily. And Bailey
Aw.
said it's definitely both if you have a healthy relationship.
Yes. I was like, because there are some times it was like, I think we've discussed this before. If you're thinking about a person, send them a message.
Yeah.
Give them a call. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. If you're thinking about that person, send them a message. That's it. And I feel like I've gotten to this point in my life to where I know this is going to sound awful, but Ariel calls me way more than I reach out to her right now.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling not guilty, but going, what's wrong with you, dude? And I feel like with Bailey, it's like 50-50. Like I was like, anytime that I'm thinking about Bailey, like I think about her every day, right? I think about my girls every day. But it's like, if somebody's like on my mind a few times throughout the day, I was like, okay, hey, thinking about you.
Yeah.
How are things going? And I feel like there's a 50-50 happening with Bailey right now. So there's a balance there, kind of thing. With my dad, my father, he doesn't understand how a phone works, I don't think, because I've had the same phone number for a long time. We can text each other. He can call me.
Yeah.
But he thinks since he's in Canada, because he's Canadian, he thinks that a Facebook message with a Facebook link to something on Facebook is talking to your son, which is not. Also, if you're reading my stories and watching my social media, cool. Anybody can do that. But you don't know what's going on in my real life.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
But do you think it's up? But who, like, should you be reaching out and saying, like, hey, this is going on in life? Or do you just wait for him to reach out and be like, what's going on?
I think when it's a young adult, when you're like, let's say 18, 19, 20, up until they're like 25 or whatever kind of thing, it's kind of on the parent.
Mm.
But once it gets kind of past that, I was like, now there's got to be kind of a two-way, like, you have your own job, you have your own place,
Yeah.
you pay your own bills, those kind of things. So now find time to fit me into it because I've been for 25 years finding time to fit you into it. So
Yeah.
it's, and I'm not saying I don't say your kids owe you anything, but I was like, but the communication has to kind of start going both ways because now we both have life that's pulling us into this.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like a little segment. And in this day and age, for goodness sakes, there's 17, I know it's just a weird number, but there's at least 17 ways to get a hold of anybody.
Yeah.
Email, TikTok, Instagram, texting, WhatsApp. You could name, there's at least like, there's so many places that you're just like, we all know we're on these things.
Yeah.
Like,
but do you feel like it's less personal when it's just a text message? Like checking in with just a text message, I feel like sometimes you don't get to actually feel what's going on versus picking up the phone and being like, let's have a conversation, just chat about life.
I think it depends on the person because I'll tell you right now, I'll tell you right now because I know. If you call somebody, certain people will clam up and just tell you what you need to hear. Other people, when you call them, they like let it all go up and they just like, here's my gush. Flip that over. There's a lot of people that if you text them, they're going to gush before they will ever tell you verbally.
Interesting.
So it depends on your communication styles. Like some people are more verbal and want to tell you stuff, but I think there's certain people that would love, feel more comfortable putting it into a message because they can think about it instead of just gush it out.
Yeah.
And not try to about like hurting feelings, but like really understanding their own emotions before they put into a word.
Yeah.
I think everybody's different. So you can't, if you get a text from somebody and it's heartfelt, that's their language, bro.
Yeah.
But if it's, yeah, sounds good. I was like, don't get offended by that. And then you call them and there's like 75 minutes of, them telling about how everything's really going. Well, that's their style.
Yeah.
So I just know with my parents, I have not the healthiest relationship that you could ever have an example of. That is fact. I do know that I'm part of that. I'm a big reason of that because I was like, I say this a lot. I was like, there's a generation, my parents' generation, which is literally the baby boomers.
Yeah.
Literally. If they're on social media is fact and social media is communicating with your children.
Yeah.
Which it's not. It's not even close.
Right.
It's not even close. Some people let more people in on their social media. Some people let less people in on their social media. So it was like, social media to me is like, let's talk about the fun stuff, maybe some interesting things. Hey, maybe some things, thought-provoking stuff. But I'm not going to sit here and talk about my therapy session on social media.
Yeah.
Like, that's not going to do it. It's like, if we're having some dissonance, you and I'm not going to talk about that.
Well, we're not going to have a social media argument.
I mean, we could.
Ah, it'd be great.
We have one on here every like third episode.
It's true.
People just don't understand that it's an argument.
I think because my dad's not on social media like at all.
No, he can barely see his phone.
Right. And I can't text
scientifically,
him. He's like legally blind.
Yeah.
So like I can't send him text messages, and I can't send him a message on any social media because he doesn't have it. So it has to be a phone call. But my dad's also like, too much conversation is too much for him. Like sometimes he's like, I just want to quit.
Depends on what it is.
In person's different.
Oh yeah.
On the phone.
You're right.
With me and him, because he could talk to Becca for like an hour, because Becca will just keep going, right?
In person, he'll talk to you
all day. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
But on the phone, there's a limit, right? Once we get through doing well, kids are good, you're good, I'm good. He's like, well, it's good to talk to you, and I'm like, all right, I guess that's all I got.
But to me, that's a real check-in.
Yeah.
Like, how are you actually doing?
But we
It's-
don't. No one talks about how they're really doing. Not on the phone. We don't talk about how we're really doing on the phone.
You guys don't?
No. Not at all. It's an in-person thing. But again, it's one of those things of like, if I didn't go,
Some people do, though.
yeah. But if we didn't go see Dad, Dad would not come see us.
It's been a minute, too.
Dad hasn't been to Sacramento.
No, it's been a minute since we've been there.
I know. And I've been the last one to go see him, and it's been like 8-9 months, I think, almost,
Yeah.
since I've seen him.
As a family, it's
Oh,
been years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and he hasn't been here for 5 years.
I think it's longer than that.
Really?
Yeah. It's been a long time. But I'm like, but is that on, does he need to? Like, should I be like, well, you don't come see me, so why am I going to go see? Like,
Oh,
you know what I
God,
mean? It's
no.
one of those
That's-
weird things
No,
of
no,
like,
no, no.
of
Don't-
also, if you wanted to see me, would you? Or do I just go over there and be like, hey, I'm showing up at your house because I wanted to see your face?
Yeah, then do that.
I just don't know sometimes where that balance is supposed to
Do
be.
it selfishly. Like, if you want to see somebody's face and it's your family, go show up. I don't know.
I don't know.
Look out, guys. I have,
We're showing up.
I have all my children's addresses. Look out.
Oh, gosh.
Um,
that was just thought I was.
I don't think it's a...
Because I'm like, I think about how I like Elise and Mariah, I talk to them in text message frequently, but I don't like talk to them a lot. It's kind of superficial. And then if they have something they want to like word vomit, then we have that long conversation, or that like Lisa will come over and just vent. But I never know how much I should be like, hey, I'm stopping by, or hey, I'm gonna do this. And like, I don't know sometimes. I guess I could just ask them.
Well, I mean, they're still in an age of, if you stop by too often, you're smothering me and why can't you just let me live my life? They're
Right.
they're still
But
in
also,
that age.
I
But
have
they're
$20
all,
for gas.
yeah. But also, why are you not there for me?
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember what it was. It was like, there was something about, somebody was talking about the mom and kid relationship. They're always doing stuff. But the dad's role, this is a traditional thing. That's not everybody. So shut up if you don't agree. It's the it's the atypical. The dad is supposed to be just standing in a corner.
Yeah.
Not expressing an opinion, but he's just supposed to be there. Because it's that I got your back.
Yeah.
No matter what. And that's everybody. The whole thing. I got this. We're fine. But I think when it comes to an adult thing, I think it depends on every single relationship. And I think every single person, this is my strong opinion, every single person, if they care, is going to feel like they screwed it up.
That's fair.
And if you're not comfortable in yourself, you're going to feel the other person screwed it up. But as you become more comfortable in yourself, you find out, I had a part in that.
Yeah.
That wasn't all on them.
Yeah.
That was on me too. And I think that's where true growth happens, right? It was like, hey, I could have done something a little different too.
Yeah.
I could have sent a message. I could have not been so condescending. And we're talking up or down.
Right.
Like, I can be condescending to my dad.
Right.
Like, you sound like, I mean, in my own words, I was like, you sound like an idiot.
Yes.
And because I was like, can you send me, I've said this before, it's like, can you send me anything that's not on Facebook?
Right.
I was like,
Yeah.
you know? And he says, well, that's from the thing. And I was like, yeah, but it's a Facebook profile. I was like, Facebook's not the news.
Yeah.
Facebook's not the internet. Facebook's not the, I don't know.
It's hard too, because like, when our parents are going through things, sometimes they don't want to share what they're going through.
They
Like,
never
especially
do.
physical things.
Our parents never do, because that's a generation thing that's, and I want to say it's a generation thing, but it's a generation thing.
But I feel like
your
if
parents
we-
are similarly close to my parents' age.
Yeah.
So,
But I feel like if we asked, they may say something,
Mhm.
but they're never gonna come to you and be like, "This is going on." Like when your dad was talking about stuff he's going through, I was like, I think it's only because Yvonne was like, you have to tell Scooter what's happening in life. Like you have to.
how's
check
your
it.
butt problem? How's your liver?
Right.
How's your liver? How's your butt? How's your heart?
But you didn't check in on him either. That's the part I'm like, should you be checking in, or you were waiting for him to, knowing he's never going to tell you? Should you
Right.
be the one being like, hey, Dad, what's going on? How are you doing?
Probably. Should you?
Yes.
Okay.
What I do is I call my Aunt Deborah and she tells me what's going on.
Well, that's not checking in. You know, that's not checking in with somebody. That's finding out information about someone.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between finding out information about what's going on with a person than actually checking in with a person.
So what I learned from
It's a huge difference.
I've learned about from my dad is that like when he had throat cancer, is that I asked how he was doing and it was fine. But if I have to be very specific. So like when you found out something was going on, then you have to be like, hey, Dad,
How's your throat?
how's the cancer going?
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, I lost some weight. It's good now. I'm in remission. All right.
Right.
Remember that last time I said, how are you doing? And you're like, fine.
Well, they're not. I mean,
It's
if
weird.
you-
It's weird being an adult kid.
but if you say, "How are you doing?" If I said that to you, if one of your kids or one of your parents said that to you right now,
Yeah.
would you talk about an illness? Would you talk about something emotional? Would you talk about your kids? Would you talk about your job? Whatever's your focal point right now would be where your reaction comes from. If somebody says, "Hey, so how you doing?" There's like, "I'm pretty good." I was like, "We've got these new contracts." It goes like, "Well, how you doing?" I was like, "Oh, we're doing pretty good. CJ's in band," those kind of things. It's like, and they go, "Well, weren't you like really sick for a couple weeks?" "Oh yeah." It's like, I did do that.
That's different.
No, it's not different. It's not different because when somebody's ill, that's not their mindset. If somebody has cancer, you can't say that's their mindset.
That's
They
true.
don't. They're not dwelling on the cancer.
Yeah.
They're dwelling on like, "Oh, I haven't reached out to my kids." It's like, "Oh my gosh, my job's really stressful. Oh my gosh, my marriage is.
Yeah.
I need to work on this." It's like, "Oh, I need to do this and my car." That's what's on their mind.
It's true.
Doesn't mean just because you have cancer.
Don't put your frame like that.
No, just because you have somebody's, and I'm not you just because you have that person's cancer on your brain,
Yeah.
doesn't mean they do.
That's true.
They've moved on from that. There's like, I'm getting treatment, doing these things.
Yeah.
It's like what I'm doing right now is like my freaking lawnmower is not working very well, and I don't have enough money to replace it.
Yeah. But it does feel like sometimes it's that weird balance of like, I'm still your kid. So I feel like there's only so many things I should bring up, but I'm also an adult
Oh, screw that.
who's your kid
I
who
stopped
really
that.
wants to know what's
I
happening.
stopped that early.
That's not true because you don't ask your dad about what's going on at all.
I don't, because I'm not your kid. I was like,
But you are his kid.
well, you know what I mean. Like,
I feel like you should ask more questions. That's where I'm coming down to.
well, so should I mean, you can attack me all you want, but you don't ask questions either. So
Yes.
no, you don't. We
I
can
did-
do this all
listen,
you want.
We can do this all I want
But
because
it's
when I saw Dad in person, I did ask him about how he was doing, and that's how I know how he was doing at that time.
So about Scooter listening to himself and other people, I need to work on that. That is true.
I obviously don't. Duh.
I think that's
I
where
think
we're
we've
at.
all learned this.
Well, it might be time for some Sarah personal growth.
No, thank you.
Well, no, I'm really sitting here like, I'm doing a lot of adapting, a lot of listening, a lot of this and doing. I was like, but I hear a lot of "you need to," and I'm like, well,
You do need to. That
Well,
doesn't mean
but that could be. I mean, realistically, talking about my relationship with my mom and my dad, correct?
Yeah.
I don't tell you how to do anything different with your mom or your dad.
Well, I can't with my mom.
Okay, but even when she was alive, I didn't do that.
No.
Okay. So is it?
But you could have, and
But
it
is
wouldn't
it-
have offended me.
but
If
is
you
it-
would have told me how to better communicate with my parents, I would have been like, I should do that.
Think about this for just one split second. Just consume what I'm
Okay.
saying. If some of the things you told me to do that I need to do, you did yourself, would you be a better person?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be me doing these things.
But I do tell these things to myself.
Okay.
So I was about to answer my dad's call. And also, I think part of it stems from, especially when it comes to medical things, that if I would have had the conversation with mom, I would have felt better about where I am now. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when things pop up, to not be like, well, they're going to tell me when something's wrong, because they're obviously not going to say when something's wrong.
They're not going to.
In person, I could see that something's wrong, but they're not going to say it on the phone.
Here's
unless
a real,
I'm like, what's going on with your body right now?
Here's a real thing. I was not close. I was okay close with Ariel at the time. I was not close with Bailey. I think I was in my mid 30s, late 30s. I found out my grandmother was dying of colon cancer. My dad had colitis. So we had digestive butt problems.
Stop saying butt problems.
Well, it's in your butt.
Just say digestion.
No, but that's literally, it's not
Intestines.
intestinal. It's your colon. That's really close to your butt.
Okay.
Okay. I found this out in my like mid late 30s, which is like not a time you have to like worry about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I went in there and found I was like, okay, you have this and there's some things going on in there. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, do you have a history of that? And I go, I don't know. Call my dad, and my dad goes, oh yeah, we have this, and your grandmother's got colon cancer, I've got colitis. I was like, Dad, could I have known this? So I was literally like, okay, Ariel, Bailey, by the way, this is what's happening. I was like, I'm breaking this cycle right now.
Yeah.
Like, that we have susceptibility to this.
Right.
So just look out for it.
Yeah.
Eat more fiber, drink more water, take care of yourself, do those kind of things. I think that was, and they're like, I do recall kind of a foggy conversations like, why are you telling me this, you weirdo? Like, you're 35. I'm 15.
Right.
Like, why are you telling me this at 15? Like, gross.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm going, I'm not doing this again.
Yeah.
I'm not having this go on to the next people.
Right.
So the mental health issues that I have, the depression that I have, the anxiety, I was like, I don't want that to be brushed under the rug.
Yeah.
Because nobody's figured these things out 100%. So is it hereditary? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. So the more that my kids know that, they're like, oh, I've got a fighting chance. At least.
Yeah.
You may not survive it, or it might destroy you, but at least you have a fighting chance. It's like, who the enemy is. So, I don't know.
I like it. What we've learned today is talk to your parents, talk to your kids. There's no right answer. When you feel the need to call somebody, call somebody.
Scooter needs to listen and grow, and Sarah's just fine.
I mean, we've already talked about this. Everyone knows this already. Just kidding. I grow all the time. I just bought bigger pants the other day. Da-dunch.
Dad joke.
I know. So we're gonna talk about this too. There is this thing of
we are, huh? See how this goes?
Yeah. Scooter, you believe that I don't change, that I'm just the same
it's not that
being, and that like I'm not growing and doing things different because I tell you you should try this, and for some reason you're like, well, what about you? And I'm like, yeah. Me too.
No, what I really realistically, I do feel in a lot of times and a lot of our conversations, I do tell you to that. It was like, well, that's just who I am. And I was like, I'm trying to stop doing that. I think you're still a little bit in that cycle of this is just who I am.
I disagree.
See?
I cannot agree.
But that's who you are.
No, it's not. It's not who I am.
All I'm saying is I think there's a kind of a, like, not that I'm better by any means. I'm way worse. Like, I started off here and I'm growing. So I'm still I might catch up to how awesome you are.
Never.
But if you don't keep growing, I'm going to catch up to you.
Nah.
And then get better.
But I am
Whoa.
growing. I think it's the part that drives me crazy when you think I'm just the same human being I was 10 years ago. And I'm
God,
like,
you're
I'm not
not.
even close.
No, not even close.
I cry now.
Yeah. Like once every 3 or 4 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
Things hit my heart.
Once every 3 or 4 years.
I have conversations with people all the time.
Whenever I tell her to introduce me to her friends.
No, that's not true. I don't
In
do
person. No, she don't do
that. I
that.
don't do that. I'm stupid.
You're like, hi, how you doing? And we move on. I was like, by the way, I'm her husband.
Everyone knows you now. I don't have to introduce you anymore.
Jeez.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows who you are.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Nope.
There's no one who knows me who doesn't know you.
That's not true.
They may not remember your name, but they're like, oh, yeah.
I met one last week. They didn't know who I was.
Who?
Nicole.
Nicole knew who you were.
She'd never met me in her life.
Yes, she has. You've met Nicole multiple times.
Never.
Yes. She was like, Scooter. I didn't say, this is Scooter.
That's true.
Yeah.
She's a metalhead. She's a metalhead. It's kind of awesome.
I don't have. We also realized. Sorry, long podcast long. Scooter was like, because our 10 years coming up next year, and he's like, "Are there any new people who you would have in our wedding party that wasn't there 10 years ago?" And I was like, "No, I have made 0 new friends in 10 years." Which sounds terrible. I've made acquaintances in 10 years, right? But I haven't made like ride or die people in 10 years.
But I'm like,
Scooter's like, oh, I've got like 7.
There might be some more people.
I was like, I barely
And
had...
not in our, like, not that, I mean, if we were going to get married today, it was kind of that question. I was like, and that's kind of a question you could put out there into the universe. It's like, if you were going to get married today, let's put those in some comments. I don't know how many people are even listening. If anybody's listening, it's basically Bailey.
We're just chatting over here.
So, I mean, there's lurkers in there for sure. I can see you. I don't know who you are, but you're lurking. If you're married, otherwise it's weird.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get married today, who would you add or subtract?
Yeah. From the last time you got married.
From your wedding party.
Yeah.
Or just invited.
Invited's different. There's a lot more people I'd invite versus being in the wedding party.
Is there anybody you would uninvite? Oh.
No.
Ooh.
I like the people who went to our wedding.
The people. Ooh.
I know. I like the people we invited to our wedding. Okay, put your hands down. I liked everyone we invited to our wedding.
I really do too. Every single person that was there, definitely invited to our wedding. Well,
I would invite Clayton.
I'd say there's -1. That's where I was.
Sorry, earlier.
Quote unquote photographer.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Like I said, everyone, because I got married at the courthouse.
So you'd uninvite everyone?
No, she has to reinvite.
I understand what you were saying. It was.
I was there. She can't uninvite me.
For the joke.
I was there.
Yeah, I wasn't.
No, I think you're at work.
I just said, I object.
You can't object.
I would have.
Your boss says she's still here. All right. Mine's still catching up.
Let's go.
Why am I not live? Oh, there we go. Bailey said, well, there's a girl that had a crush on me and my wedding party. Probably wouldn't have her in it again.
Why not?
It's a fair statement.
Makes it interesting.
You don't know if they're going to jump and be like, I object.
Object to what?
I am so in love with the bride.
Right? I was like, Bailey's in this same boat. I have so many new friends. This is Bailey saying this. I have so many new friends. I would have so many different people in my wedding party. I wouldn't have different. I'd have more.
You would have more.
No, because, I mean, the people that were in my wedding party, I'm still friends with them today.
Yeah.
I mean,
Same.
It was Willie. It was Slim. It was, I mean, Stephanie was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
We just went to her, 20th?
Yeah.
Wedding anniversary in Disneyland.
Yeah.
Like, she would definitely be there. You know, it was just like the people in my wedding party, I was like, those are real people that I met when I was moving forward in my life.
Right.
Like rebuilding myself.
Yeah.
And one of them was from Washington. One of these people became a good friend and a good like ride or die person in the Bay Area. Stephanie, same.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still like, we have each other's numbers. Like, it's
Right.
not like we've lost touch.
Yeah.
We're just like, we're those people that's like 6 months, we don't need to talk to each other. And it's like, hey, we're doing this thing. It's like, frick,
We'll be there.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
like, you want to go to Disneyland? I was like, yeah.
Sure.
So we go.
Yeah.
Um,
Urel said, we got married at the courthouse, so probably immediate family. Yeah. Courthouse weddings, man. And Bailey said she crossed the line. The girl at the wedding, not your.
oh, was she kind of touchy?
Probably.
I was like, you may kiss the bride. And she jumped up there and go, I will. Mwah.
It's awful.
No, that could happen.
That could happen. I'd have to punch you in the face. You can't do that at my wedding.
What?
That's an immediate clock in the face.
Somebody had a crush on you, give it a kiss?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you'd clock him in the face. I would choke him out.
Well, if it's the chick, you can't.
I don't care.
You're not clocking a chick in the
No,
face.
I'm not going to punch him in the face. It was like, good night. That's not assault.
No.
If you make somebody just fall asleep,
That is assault. Yes.
How's that
You
assault?
can't put your hands on people
I was like, good night.
because they're not attacking
Put
you.
their lips on you, and that's fine.
But you can't. I would have to be able to defend myself. You can't be punching people in the face.
But it's just like, oh,
Or
he's my
choke 'em out.
bodyguard.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I was like, no, everyone at my wedding party is like, those are still my people.
Those were my people, and I knew that. I mean, and
I think I just
realistically,
learned I need more friends.
and I know this sounds awful. It's not to sound awful, but in my other two, because this is my third marriage. My other
Last
two,
one.
were kind of like her brother or my
Yeah.
brother, or just like somebody that was like, but I didn't have anybody back then that were ride or dies.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll get a message. Willie and I message each other like every few months. Like, I saw this thing, thought about you, dude, blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
then even Slim, like, 50th birthday comes up and he like stopped everything, and him and his girlfriend came up and
Yeah.
now they're getting married. Like, his girlfriend that he took to our wedding, they're getting married.
Were they even dating at the time? I think we had this conversation. The other
They
day.
were lying, but they said they weren't.
Yeah.
I was like,
They're
you flew her,
in a situationship.
you flew her to the beach and spent 3 days with her, humping and bumping, and yet you're not
Terrible
together.
accent.
But I mean, but you got to look at like 9 years later,
Yeah.
they're still together. I was like, you were together, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, it's not an aggressive thing. It's like, that's adorable,
It's adorable.
because they were adorable.
They were.
Because we spent, I mean, even while we were down there, when we got married, didn't we go to like have lunch with them?
We did.
Or breakfast, some sort of place. But I was like, they were so cute.
Yeah.
I was like, and you know me, even back then, I was like, you guys are dating. I was like, no, we're not.
You probably said humping and bumping back then too.
I probably did. Hanging and slanging.
Oh God. There's no more.
That I just came up with. That's a good one. I don't know what either of that means.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, hang it. No,
That-
that sounds like some S&M stuff.
I was like, I don't know where you're going with this next statement. I was concerned.
Well,
It's not Patreon.
it's
Calm
not.
it down.
Sign up for our Patreon. Patreon.com/Sarah and Scooter. We'll talk more in depth about
We've been
this.
talking a lot today.
Well, we've taken this. We took 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
We didn't take a week off. We took 2 weeks off. So, I appreciate this. Is this where we're going? It's like we want to put a cap on. Talk to your parents. Talk to your kids.
Yeah.
As adults, talk to your parents. Talk to your kids.
Yeah. And your
And-
sibling. Just talk to everybody.
Because I said this, and there's an exception to every rule. But I was like, I've said this before, and I literally, one of my brothers said, "F you, Scooter."
Yeah, you did.
when I said, if you have if you have adult children and you don't talk, that's your fault. I did say that.
You did.
Now,
Caveat.
there's an exception to every rule, because some kids grow up to be really not good people.
Yeah.
And that's an exception to the rule. That's an outlier.
Right.
So,
Same with parents. Some parents grow up to be
Oh
not
my
good people.
gosh, I mean, look at me. I'm just happy. I'm just happy my kids still like haven't blocked my number, because I say stupid shit a lot.
I mean,
Yeah.
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 We all do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Mm.
No,
You're
I don't.
admitting that? Yeah. I was like, you're admitting that
I would never.
on record? It's like when we go to court.
That one time you said that, I was joking.
That's not true.
Not true.
And that's how I feel like what's her name sounds like. That's not true.
Hannah.
No, not Hannah.
Oh.
The other girl, the black girl.
Which one?
Love is Blind. The one that was wanting to marry the braid guy.
Oh, Marissa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Marissa sounded like that
She did.
up until stuff hit the fan.
Yeah.
So follow our Patreon because I'd love to have episodes about MCU. I'd love to have episodes about that. I'd love to have episodes about Love is Blind. I'd love to have
British baking show.
British baking show. I can go for days about some of these shows because we have probably a good half a dozen to a dozen guilty pleasures.
Oh,
The Voice. We could talk about that forever.
Below Deck. You're not on board yet. It's fine. I'll get you on there.
I see what you did.
I'll get-
That's good. That's funny. Not on board.
I didn't mean to do that, actually.
It's pretty funny. All right.
That's it. That's all we got.
Oh, we're not.
Oh, I'm just kidding. Do you
We're
want to play a
done for
game?
the night? It's up to you.
I feel like we should be, because then we're going to get super late. It's going to be like 10 p.m. And then I'll have to be like, oh, I have to go get CJ. And you're like, oh, of course you do.
I know it's so weird, like staying up late on a Friday.
I didn't say I had to go to sleep.
All right.
I have to watch Transformers 1 still. Oh,
What is happening?
It's out
That's
to
the
rent.
first time you've mentioned that.
that
to
is
me.
not true.
That is true.
That I want to watch Transformers 1?
It's Chris Evans, right?
I don't know. Transformers.
Okay. I think he's okay.
Love Transformers.
Where are we at? What are we doing?
I think we're saying goodnight.
Oh, to who?
Whoever's in there. Whoever hung
All
out
right.
with us.
We really enjoyed this.
Yes.
I know you all didn't.
We appreciate you guys hanging out with us and catching up.
Do we?
Until next Friday.
Yeah, we'll be back next Friday.
We will.
That's our plan.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Hold on.
Too late. People left. Just kidding. What do you have?
We did not mention we were gonna bring up back of the social media that Urel.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's what we forgot to say. I wrote it down.
Urel, I can only speak for myself. The bands that you were posting about that you went to the concerts with, we've seen them all. And they're all so good. They're so good live. One of my favorite, realistically, we didn't even realize it, was Daughtry.
Oh yeah, Daughtry's so good.
Daughtry, we saw him live, that band live last year.
Yeah.
Even though their sound went out for a while,
Still great.
which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
But so good. It was insane. So, I have to say, yeah, seeing other people enjoying, even if like you don't have to be in the mosh pits, you don't have to be stage diving, you don't have to be body surfing, you don't have to you can sit in the stands, just enjoy the music, enjoy the people around you, because everybody around you is there for that. It's a commonality. We're there for one reason:
Yes.
to enjoy this music that we love.
Yes.
And that literally, I feel, is what can save humanity.
Yeah.
Not just music, but the commonality that we're just people. At the core of it, we're just people trying to love another human being. That's who we are.
So when you're at the Meow convention this weekend,
Yes.
you be your meowy self.
No, I'm
You
dead serious.
Enjoy that uniform. You lick that cat. Do what you need to do.
She said, I absolutely love the experience of concerts.
Scooter too. He
It's-
cries at every concert.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone. Plus, I always get I do this. I get pumped up in the same concert because it moves me. Feeling music at a live show is way different than hearing anything over these little speakers. Doesn't matter how good your sound system is. You go to a live concert, humans together for a commonality, a good purpose. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how cults are formed.
That's a culture formed. It's so true. So we cough.
But it's true.
Yeah.
No, it's like that we have more power than we think we do. So we have more senses than we think we do.
Yeah.
So keep going to concerts, Urel.
Yes.
It's huge.
Keep posting about it.
Yeah, keep posting because it was like, oh, I'd love to have been there. I was like, oh my gosh, they have great concerts in Houston.
I know.
You know.
Add that to our bucket list.
Yeah.
Go to Houston.
Sacramento's got some comeuppance.
They do.
Yeah. So we will see you all very soon. We'll see you next Friday. Please message us. Please, if you can, get on our Patreon, patreon.com/Sarah and Scooter.
Yeah.
We will be posting some stuff on there, some live stream stuff within the next few weeks.
Tell us your song of the week.
Tell us your song of the week.
So we could jam out with you.
Or we can play some song games. Tell us a game that you want us to play. We'll play it with you as long as, you know, it's not 18 plus.
Yeah. We'll play the ear game.
Okay. That's descriptive. I know what you're saying, but let's move on. Love you all. We'll see you very soon.